presents Anime of the Year 2020. Joining me, Mike Hates Anime, is Frog.
That sounds nothing like Tim Pool, man. That sounds like a happy Batman.
I'm Frog, not him.
And the other guys dropping the ball as usual. It's Moth.
Hey, I hate Raising Cane's.
I hate raising children.
Mike, do you know what
I
Raising
hate
Cane's
raising
is?
my fat ass out of the seat.
Mike,
What is
Mike,
Raising
do you know
Cane's? Is that like a band or something?
Mike, I don't know, because I'd never seen this place before in my life, but it feels like it's from the deep south, and so...
Oh, you're talking about that chicken restaurant, aren't you?
Yeah, so, the only way I can describe Raising Cane's is it's like 1970s nursing home chicken for like only white people, because only white people could afford to go to nursing homes in the 70s. And it is just, oh my gosh, Frog, I need you to picture this. Accordion fries, or whatever they're called, crisscross applesauce fries. You know, the ones that are like Kringle fries,
Curly
right?
fries?
No, Kringle fries. So Kringle fries, no seasoning, okay?
All right.
Plain ass chicken tendies, barely breaded, no seasoning, just chicken tendies, all right?
Okay.
A slice of
dinner
Texas
shit?
toast, basically like a slice of Texas toast without any garlic, anything, just this slab of like thick cut bread. Are you picturing this?
Yeah.
And then coleslaw that tastes like more like apple vinegar than actual coleslaw. And I guess that is something that people in the South like because they're crazy enough to do barbecue with like vinegar.
Cane's is not Southern, by the way.
I don't know what it is.
Also, Kansas City barbecue is the one with vinegar.
Right. But Raising Cane's, it is just... And then they expect you to season it by just dipping this chicken into fry sauce with pepper in it. It's fry sauce with pepper. And like maybe a hint of lemon.
I don't really know what we're talking about right now.
Is it safe to say that Cane's is the worst anime of 2020 then?
Just hands down, absolutely. Worse than the KFC dating
I'm afraid I didn't
simulator.
watch it, guys.
You heard it here first, folks. We got our first award given out to Raising Cane's.
For just the
worst anime of the year.
Next year we should actually have like named awards. That'd be funny.
Yeah, if we're still doing this next year, Mike hasn't killed himself.
Mike will not. I will stop him by killing myself instead.
Once the coronavirus seizes my lungs and I no longer can breathe unless it's through a liquid that they pump into my lungs.
It's the COVID special. Mike actually has coronavirus while we're recording.
The big C.
I do.
You can't see it on
I
YouTube.
got my
you
second
die.
test today.
Well, it's actually really funny because normally when we record, we're in this like ass to elbow little tight room together. All three of us are kind of talking. But like Frog and I are kind of like, we're almost like kind of sharing a microphone. We got like a binder between our two microphones so the audio doesn't reverberate.
Yeah.
Like we're just trying to stay away from Mike right now.
This is why my microphone sounds so bad, because I have to use the toothpick microphone that we have on the side instead of the...
Yeah, he's got to use the one from Hey You Pikachu.
But now I this time around because of the coronavirus we are isolating now. We always do this. You've been fooled. No one's been fooled.
I'm dropping the bit. This is a bad
That's
bit.
a bad
if
bit.
we were ever in the same room together, their sexual tension would be too much for us to control.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be wearing a shirt. Did I ever tell you about that? That I have a medical condition that forces me to get naked in public?
I don't think this is real.
No, it is. Look up histrionic personality disorder.
Okay, listen. No, he has a histrionic personality disorder, which is something that makes his brain have to have attention. And the way he decides to do that is to take off his clothes. But it's not like a medical thing where if he keeps clothes on, his heart will stop. It's just he's crazy.
No, it was like we were having Christmas dinner with my family and breaking every COVID protocol because we don't care up in Alaska. And I noticed like both my nephews for my sister, both her sons, were running around dinner shirtless. And I was like, well, that's bullshit that they could do this. I want to do this. So I took off my shirt and ran around with them for a bit. And then like we sat down at the dinner table and I was like, why aren't you wearing a shirt? And I guess that ruined Christmas dinner.
All right.
You know, I recently got to meet Moth's wife, which is interesting. Didn't even know it was his wife until I asked the question. They're like, "Yeah, don't you know?" And it's like, I don't know that.
The
only clue I had was that their Discord profile picture was Sexy Sans.
Wait, what was this?
It's Outer Tail Sans. We were playing Among Us like a week ago,
Oh.
like 4 days ago.
It was a few days ago, yeah. I was deadly sick, and my ability to lie was awful.
Dude, your ability to do anything was awful.
And fucking Moth's friend Ahab accused me of being the imposter, and to which I then was not, and said, "Hey, I'm not the imposter. I'm like, why would I vent in front of someone?" And then he was like, it's him. And I was like, okay, it has to be you. You're a terrible liar. He gets fucking kicked. And it's not fucking him. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? What kind of gameplay is this?
I mean, I wasn't there.
It's a pro gamer move. But yeah, so you did meet my wife finally.
Yeah, she seems nice.
She is, yeah. She is a saint.
The way you said that sounded like you had gritted teeth.
The Catholic
You're
Church has
sorry.
officially sainted her for being married to me.
What?
Lord knows I couldn't do it.
So yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so Mike met my wife. Frog hasn't met my wife yet. That's because my wife doesn't play Under Night in Afterbirth, take the placenta home and cook it.
No, your wife's just deep into Overtale lore.
Undertale.
Under Swappy World.
Oh man, what's funny is like she still won't touch Deltarune. Like she played
What?
the first chapter, she's like, I'm not drawing any fan art until Toby Fox actually finishes the game.
That's at least kind of fair.
Well, it's like you don't know. Like the first chapter could just be like he could throw the entire first chapter out the window and be like, Deltarune's canceled. We're dealing with Alert Dune now.
Alert Dune?
Well, Deltarune is just an anagram for Undertale, and the next one on the list would be Alert Dune.
Jump in a hole and say your prayers as you hit the ground.
I'm just saying, like those are the other anagrams.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us today. We are going to do the best anime of 2020.
Wait. Did so we agreed that Raising Cane's is the worst fast food of 2020.
I've
right?
never even heard of it until today. But you know what? I'll go with you.
I
I would say Burger King in Canada.
I've only heard of it because there was a chicken tier list thing for like the most popular chicken fast food in America on Twitter the other day, and it was like Cane's and like all the Midwestern states. It was like, oh, okay, it's like a weird Midwestern chicken place. And KFC was all the fucking New England. It's like, of course, a bunch of white people love flavorless soggy chicken.
With KFC, you have like when you're looking at Popeyes and KFC, you have to consciously make a decision, and it's, do I want chicken that tastes good but is tiny and go to Popeyes and fight the waitstaff? Or do I want giant chunks of chicken that don't taste like anything and go to KFC where I get stuck to the floor because it's covered in that weird peach-flavored Mountain Dew that's disgusting?
Yeah, no, that the Moth, in a rare moment of lucidity, has said something 100% correct.
Damn straight.
A broken clock is right sometimes.
That's true. So I cannot get over how much I hate Raising Cane's. And whenever my coworkers and I go out to eat, they're like, "Let's go to Raising Cane's," and I'm like, "Can we like?"
Wait, it's in Alaska?
Well, yeah, now there is. There's two that's open up in Alaska, and they are always like no matter what time of day you go, if they're open, it's just busy. Like you're in a 7-car line.
Okay, before we move on to
that's
anime,
what happens anytime
be completely honest with me. I haven't seen American McDonald's, but I know Canadian McDonald's, and people like to shit on McDonald's all the time. But I think it's like pretty decent as far as fast food tier goes.
I would say, and this is probably heresy, but like McDonald's is good if you don't get a burger. Like pretty much everything that's not.
I don't like anything else.
I think I disagree as well, but only for the quarter pounders because those are really good.
It's just a bunch of dry meat. You're crazy.
Okay, maybe like I said, there's differences between the regionals, so mine's actually pretty moist here.
I mean, I like McChickens. Okay, that's
McChickens,
about it.
I can't have those because they have egg breading, but yeah.
Are you allergic to eggs?
Have I not mentioned this?
No.
Yes, you have.
He has not. Shut up, Mike. What? You're allergic to eggs?
Yes, he has. It is a common joke amongst the people we know that Frog will die if he sees a chicken.
A lot of different things, eggs being one of them. Although it's become more minor over the years. The biggest one right now is nuts and peanuts and stuff.
I'm allergic to fruit skins, so it's fine.
All
but the good
fruit
news
skins?
is,
What the fuck?
yeah, like pretty much. So it started with apples.
Is there like a chemical in like fruit skins that's like common that you're allergic to?
Dude, if I want to
pectin.
eat an apple raw, I pretty much have to throw it in an oven and cover it in cinnamon for 45 minutes if I want to eat that apple.
It must be some kind of like common chemical or like filament between
probably
the chairs between.
Wait, did
fruits.
you say filament?
I don't know. What's
you
the
say
term,
filament?
Yes.
man?
So when you 3D print your fruit, if it's the ABS red, I can't do it. It can only be like PLA blue through like the purple color spectrum.
It's probably pectin. Can you do like pulpy
Pectin,
orange
these
juice?
nuts. Yeah, I can do oranges.
No, orange juice.
Yeah, I can do orange juice.
Okay, maybe isn't pectin then. That is strange though. It's good to know that both of my co-hosts are weaker human beings with allergies.
Yeah,
But I have better
I will
earwax
surpass
genes.
them.
You know, that's absolutely true because every time I pull out my earbuds, like, it's pretty much like I just swabbed a freaking candle out
I'm
of
the
my
top
ear.
3%. I looked this up. Like, dry earwax is like a 3% common thing among white people. So I'm like, just saying. Rare specimen.
Just for those ear fetishists out there, it's frog that you want.
Absolutely.
Dude,
Hey,
you're so
don't
lucky
attack
having
me like
wax.
that.
I mean,
ears.
actually, I think like your fetishists probably want the goopy stuff. To be honest,
Ooh, yeah.
I guess it
That's
depends.
me.
No, I mean ear fetishists. They don't like want the
Okay,
ear
wax
wax.
fetishists,
They
whatever,
want the
Mike.
ear.
Are there ear fetishists? I
I'm
need to
sure
know.
there's ear fetishists. There's everything
ev-
fetishists, Moth.
Ear
Every single
fetish.
one of my exes enjoys it when I played with their ears.
That's not the same thing though.
Okay, but there's a difference between playing with. Oh man, there is an entire category of girls just piercing their ears over and over and over again. That's your fetish right there.
I
is
hate
just
that.
Piercing
I don't
an
like
ear
piercing
over and over
anything
again.
for that matter.
I mean, I get popping cysts and some of them being on your ears, but like just a fetish of just like piercing ears. And there's some dude ejaculating in chick's earlobe.
I mean, yeah, I understand that there's probably definitely like
Mike,
everything
Frog-
fetishists. So like,
Why did you do this to us, Frog?
What do you
Why did
mean?
I have
What-
to look this up?
What do you mean? What do you
Didn't
mean?
you bring it
Why
up?
did Frog do this? Frog was just like, man, I have really good genes. I have dry earwax. Isn't that cool? And you're like, yeah, I dig shit out of my ears all the time. I'm gonna quickly Google, what do the fetishists like? Oh, they like a goopy, droopy earlobes. Oh, he's coming in an ear. Frog, why'd you do this to me?
but yeah, apparently it's more common among like I
Mike
think,
has just been in Batman mode.
apparently
all
dry
day.
earwax is common among like Eastern countries. So it's kind of cool that I got the 3% chance. Good lottery.
Oh shit, you telling me Frog is Asian?
I mean, my eyes are pretty thin, but other than that, I don't look very Asian at all.
Oh, man.
That's about it.
My eyes are Asian.
Oh my god! Hey, I mean, I've told the story before about how whenever I was a
Yeah,
kid,
I know. You've been yeah.
Ching Chong, baby Ching Chong.
I mean, I can reasonably kind of understand what they were seeing at least.
Well, that was the thing where I think like we told this episode or this story episode 6 or something, but like I didn't know Jap slap was a racial slur until I went into high school.
What?
And that concludes the racial insensitivity portion of our podcast. Moving on,
So
let's now go through every anime that came out this year that we thought was notable to talk about. How's that sound?
The racism is over, so let's talk about I'm Standing on a Million Lives, an anime that so perfectly encapsulates
Oh my
the high school
God.
experience that it might as well have been written by a white racist.
Muff, I literally ordered the list from winter to fall. And you're like, oh, let's jump to the last anime on the list. Let's do that. I hate you so
Technically the
much.
third last anime on the list.
Fuck you too. Now you're getting in the way. Fuck you.
I'm ready to talk
Let's
about
start.
the winter 2020 season, Mike.
I'm
Play
ready
us
to
in.
talk about the only anime on this list that matters right now in the winter 2020 season.
So, winter 2020. Let's first start with Ishizoku reviewers.
I watched
like
3 episodes of this show.
You know, Ishizoku reviewers falls into the same category as there was another anime. Peter Grill. It falls into the same category as Peter Grill for me, where like it's shameless porn. That's all it is, but it says clearly like, "Hey, I'm shameless porn," and I'm totally okay with it.
I feel like Ishizoku reviewers. Peter Grill is just. I mean, that is actually just softcore pornography.
So is Ishizoku reviewers. It's so bad that like you actually cut content if you remove the not safe for work scenes and it becomes a 12-minute anime.
See, you just said it's so bad. Ishizoku reviewers is legitimately a really well-made anime.
No,
that just happens to be about titties and ass.
Right, but it doesn't pretend that front and center isn't about titties and ass. Like, it doesn't go, oh,
like,
hey.
You have this weird idea that, we have to hide the fact that we're about titties and ass. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't exist.
Plenty of that exists, but I'm okay with Ishizoku reviewers because, like, hey, I'm all about titties and ass and Shota Elf.
Really nice Shota Elf. Good job, Ishizoku reviewers, giving your Shota Elf the canonical fattest cock.
That's true.
I appreciate that. Technically not a Shota. I mean, technically
he's like,
not
what,
a
300 years old?
I mean, it's like
not only that,
Angel from
98.
Heaven. Do they even have a concept of age?
They also have both genitalia.
Yeah,
so they're kind of.
I think my favorite thing about anything even remotely Christianity related in Japanese culture is I can't even be offended anymore because I'm well aware it's just like what looks coolest on paper. It's just it has nothing to do with
Japanese
Christianity.
people because Christianity has obviously has some foothold in Japan, but it's more so like something that people will just take like interest in. So the parts of like Christianity that seeped into their culture are all just the cool aesthetic bits that I enjoy too.
Dude, trust me, trust the plan. Christianity's coming back in 2021, man.
Trust the plan.
Wrong
coming
podcast.
back. Listen, I know there are way too many groypers and like weird trad cats on the internet for me to want Christianity to come back in 2021.
Honestly, I want the aesthetic because the aesthetic kind of rad.
You know what's funny?
I want more Castlevania games.
I'm totally aware. I'm totally
all.
aware that we're in different circles because I'm in the circle of people who just like it always starts like, hey, you like lifting weights too, right? Yeah, I love lifting weights. Hey, let's go into a Discord where people uplift each other, share power metal, and we lift weights. And then next thing I know, we're once again talking about how to gas the Jews. And I'm like, all right, that's cool.
But I don't believe you that that's the group you go around because you invited some of these people into our Discord server, and like anytime someone does anything like not hyper masculine, they're just like that's gay and bad and stupid, and then we're like, dude, that's not cool, and they're like, don't care, it's gay, bad, and stupid, and it's like. That's what you're around, Moth. You're not around this weird positivity. You're around this hyper-masculine, like, fucking toxicity.
Okay, regardless, though, my deadlifts has gotten really good lately.
Oh, I'm glad that your deadlifts have gotten good around people that want to lift Jewish people until they're dead.
just keep picking up this little child, like, all right, ready to go up again? Woo! 3 months later, please, can I have a blanket? Nope, come up again. Woo!
And to transition from that into something also weird and fucked up, our next anime on the list is Dorohedoro.
Which, honestly, this is now one of my top 3 animes of all time.
Wait, how can... Okay, slight spoiler. We've all, like, if you watch the Best of the Decade episode, it's basically the same format. Why isn't this on your list of shows to talk about at the end if it's in your top 3 of all time?
Do you remember everything that happened in 2020? I don't. I thought Izoken came out last year.
We have
or not Izoken, Dorohedoro.
I that is fair, honestly. This 2020 has been hell year, even more so than 2018 and 2019 were.
Yeah, and honestly, most of the options that I threw at you, Mike, were from the first 3, were from the last 3 quarters of the year, so like I totally didn't even look at winter 2020.
Oddly, I've had a very good 2020.
Because I loved Iromakun and Dorohedoro, which are both on the list, like... So I'm just dumb as hell, if I'm being honest with you.
Moth, I gave you this list like 2 months ago to look at.
Yeah, you did.
And you even told me to add stuff, and like you did it too late, but I did.
Okay, in my defense, Mike, I watch everything you tell me to watch.
That's true. After I got on your ass for not doing that, and now Frog, who has not watched stuff I've been telling him to watch, is now also, after me getting on his ass, going to start doing that. So that's our New Year's resolution. When I tell you to do something, when I tell you to fucking jump, you ask me how high.
To be an anime podcast that actually watches anime.
Mike is now going to start whip cracking every other day. He's like, it's no longer. This is a dictatorship podcast.
I made a fucking schedule for the next year. You will stick to it.
So, as I was saying, Dorohedoro is an absolute treat. 100% absolute. 10 out of 10.
I do not like the way this show was adapted.
Shut up.
Okay.
I similarly do not like how this show was adapted, and I don't.
As someone who doesn't read shit, this was great.
But Mike loves the original manga for Dorohedoro.
Yeah, no. The Dorohedoro is my second or third favorite manga of all time.
Yeah, and so it's now in my top 3 animes. Like, if you were to take my top 3 animes of all time, it would just be, boom, number 1, Golden Kamui. Number 2, boom, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, as long as you remove part 1 and part 5 from the equation. Then, boom, number 3, Dorohedoro.
How is part 3 above part 5?
Because part 5 is hot ass in a bag.
What's part 3 then?
Part 3 is just, like, it's funny. It's like, hey, it's around the world in 80 days.
Part 3 is good beginning, good end, and what the fuck's the middle?
I am confused by everything that happens between starting and going to Egypt. At least
Honestly,
when they get to Egypt, it makes a little more sense.
Just enjoy the trip. Just enjoy the rape gorilla.
I do. It's the fun. I like the series, but I'm not gonna pretend part 3 is like actually very good.
Enjoy the magnetism fetish. Just
part
enjoy
3 is
everything.
pretty messy.
Part 3 is messy, but, like, where else are you going to see some dude being forced to lick a toilet bowl by, like, invisible hooks?
That's really not one of the highlights I gleaned from part 3.
That's absolutely one
The
of the
highlights of part 3
3
are the Vanilla Ice fight and shit. Like, oh my god, it's good.
Oh, that's dumb as hell.
What?
No, the highlights of part 3 are just the random stand users, like a rape gorilla, an old woman who's trying to get revenge on her psychopathic murdering son, like, all these
What
great...
about, fuck, what was it called? I don't remember anymore. The Geb, the gambling dude. That was a sick fight too.
Oh yeah, no, the 2 gambling fights are phenomenal,
Yeah.
both of them. And that's where the show really shines, not your stupid Vanilla Ice crap.
Vanilla Ice is so good. What do you?
Wait, Vanilla Ice is legitimately awesome. Like,
That's where we lost 2 of the best characters.
Yes.
Oh yeah, wait, no. Moth doesn't like it because it make him sad, make emotion feel, make me bad.
I love it because
Yes,
it actually
exactly.
has stakes and it's good. It's like JoJo rarely has stakes, which is really nice to see. I guess, especially in part 3, it's like stakes only happen towards the very end of Vanilla Ice fight, and it's nice to see. I like it. Anyway,
Yeah, so Dorohedoro, back to it. It's just...
Yeah, Dorohedoro is such a nothing anime adaptation that you guys just talked about JoJo Part 3 for the past 5 minutes.
no,
Well,
here's
for
the-
someone who doesn't watch the manga, honestly, this was some of the better 3D I've seen in a long time because it's hyper stylized.
I don't know how you can say that in this year. This year.
What do you mean this year? What's going on this year, Mike?
wait. What came out this year for 3D?
Yeah, what came out this year for 3D? Are you going to talk
I'm
about
sorry.
more Land of the Lustrous?
I forgot
Steven
Beastars
Universe for
was
That was
Weeaboos?
last year. Yeah.
Beastars
forgot.
looked
Okay, no,
hideous.
you're literally dumb.
Beastars looked...
Your brain is so small.
The 3D was so bad in
Yeah,
the
the
opening
3D
song,
is
it actually
phenomenal.
looked like claymation.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
I hate you so much. Bottom line, Dorohedoro, read the manga. Really good.
If you like the anime style, then go for it. But I personally didn't care for it. It tried to mix 2D and 3D too much for my liking.
After the first episode, the anime gets like better and more watchable, but the manga exists and has better art and more interesting like
I understand the appeal though,
design.
because the music's very good and like stuff like that. There's just
The music's
plus-
very good. The voice acting is plus ultra. It's
good. It's good. There's definitely
But,
great
like,
aspects
the
to the
biggest
show.
the biggest issue with the Dorohedoro anime is that you do not get to the parts of the manga that are the coolest part, because it's a giant mystery anime / manga, but like it doesn't start answering any of its questions till like at the moment the anime ends, and that's when it gets interesting.
Okay, so you're just mad at it that season 1 ends a little early. That's not a good reason to be mad
It's
at
not
something.
really a criticism so much as
No.
just like a recommendation note.
No. I'm not mad at it because of that. I think the reason I don't think it's a good adaptation is partially because it's definitely going to be one of those shows that just gets a single season. So yes, that is an issue.
No, actually, there's talks about it during the OVAs that are coming out now, which the OVAs are great because they're just small offshoot chapters that gives you better backstory on the characters. The creators, like, as long as the fans want it, we'll do season 2.
I kind of hope fans don't want it because I don't think
Oh my
that
gosh,
this
shut up.
particular like 3D animation fits.
No. I hope they do it because I hope that team gets busy with Dorohedoro Season 2 instead of Chainsaw Man.
Oh my gosh, speaking of overrated garbage.
Speaking of something you haven't
Go
read.
fuck off. Fuck off. Get out of here. If you want to talk about overrated garbage, we'll move on to the next show, which isn't overrated garbage. But
No.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
You have it open?
Are you blind?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mike's barely 18 waifu.
No. She's fucking 20 by the end of the series. The next anime is Inspector, or Kyoku Syuri. This show, I pretty much have no one have anything to say about it. This show is like I think it is a light novel series. In which case, you should read those instead, because it very much comes across as just a story being told more so like any kind of like quality animation. While I don't think the animation is bad in it, you're watching it for like it's non-distracting. You're watching it for like the good character designs and the really fantastic story. About a girl who becomes the god of yokai, and in so doing, she does this at a very young age. She gives up her arm and her leg and her eye, and so she has to solve the problems of the yokai, which oftentimes involves her having to tell convincing lies. Which that's what the show becomes about. Like it's a narrative about like not like solving like cases, but using the information you have to tell a lie that's convincing enough to satisfy people, which I think is very interesting.
Right, but it's honestly not worth talking too much about. And if you want to watch a better version of it, just watch Natsume Yujincho.
I don't know what that is. You're stupid and dumb. I just it's not worth talking about after I just say a bunch of like interesting things about it.
Natsume Yujincho.
Nope, Natsume Yujincho is a significantly better anime than Inspector. It's got better characters. The demon god is a calico cat.
Natsume's Book of Friends is the translation.
Yes. Natsume's Book of Friends.
I've never heard of this before.
Much better anime overall.
Did you watch that one?
I'd take... no, but my wife loves it.
I mean the other one.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. You suck a dick. Eat a cock. Bitch cock.
I mean, it is ranked pretty high on Mal, but that doesn't mean anything.
It ranks super high on Mal, brah.
It ranks 196, which is pretty high.
Where does Inspector rank on Mal? At the bottom where it belongs?
It doesn't matter, but I will check.
It has a waifu, so it's actually probably not that bad.
Let's see. It's got... it's actually pretty low.
Yeah, see, that's what I said.
It's 6.9.
Ooh, 69.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm surprised it's that low.
It's 3,705 on the list. Wait, it was. I don't know. I think people got disappointed.
I just told fans an option in the top 200, and you just gave them something in the bottom 1,000.
Well, he didn't put it on his top 3.
The reason I gave them that is because we're talking about the show that came out in that season, you asshole!
Next show on the list...
Aizoken, baby!
I actually have a very fun trivia fact about Aizoken.
I'm gonna kill myself on that.
Yes.
In the live action, the actress who plays Kanamori is also the actress that played the girl with the wrecking ball in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Really? Wait, that sounds unlikely. She would be too old.
Okay. No, that's the same person.
No.
Same exact nose.
Is this racist? Is this what this is?
No, I'm saying like same exact nose. It's like the defining feature of the actress.
Did you look it up or are you just guessing?
No, it's the same. It's the same actress.
Answer the question.
Man, I think it'd be funny to fact check this live on podcast, but also I think it's also really funny if people just think Moth is really racist.
How is this racist?
How is it racist? I'm gonna tell you a fact I didn't look up and base it off of a character's nose.
It's no surprise.
That's like that's like saying Anthony Brody or whatever his name is the same as Keanu Reeves because they both have like a similar facial structure. That's not racist. That's just something that
I didn't jump to racism. I thought you maybe made a racist joke, but if you just think they look similar, then You're probably just wrong, because
Well, no,
that would
it's
make
the
it, that's like a
same
20-year
actress.
difference or something. She would look too old for
No, it's-
Aizoken.
No, she absolutely is the same age.
I mean, Aizoken, one of the best looking anime of the year.
It's no surprise.
Thank you, fucking my man Masaki Yuasa, for bringing us one of the best anime that's like come out in like fucking forever. This shows the tits. This show's amazing episode to episode. The only issue I have with it is that I feel like the ending's a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
The
that's
ending
my one
feels
criticism
rushed.
as well.
The ending feels like they needed 2 more episodes.
Maybe. I think it's no surprise. I
I
think I've
think
said
what they
it
should
like
have
the
done
ending feels
is
like
they-
they
Okay, I'm
needed
shutting
1
up.
more episode.
I
Sorry.
think what they really should have done is that they should have just reordered the events in show to like the two like the last anime like the 2 big story segments, just swap them where you have like I realize that like set piece wise the last set like animation they make is bigger than everything else they've made, but it's not as like bombastic as like
Yeah.
narratively interesting as the one before it.
Honestly, the first animation they did was the one I liked the most, and I still stand by it.
I think mine was definitely the second. But
The Tank Girl, I definitely like the Tank
Girl's
Girl
very
the
good.
most.
they're all really good. I've talked about this series at length everywhere you could possibly hear my voice.
Well, I will say that this anime wins 1 award if it doesn't win any other award this year, and it's the most memed OP of the year.
that's probably true. There's always one, right?
I don't know. That is absolutely not
Wait,
true.
what else came out this year that has a mean dope?
Jujutsu Kaisen.
I haven't
only a
seen
couple.
half
I
as
haven't
many
seen very
memes
many of them,
about
actually,
Jujutsu
though.
Kaisen. Like, the moment Aizoken came out, there were redraws of that stupid dance they do. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, Aizoken,
I think that probably
number
takes-
1 OP, yeah.
Jujutsu does
I
have a
would
lot
say-
of edits, but I don't think it's quite as much or nearly as much.
I haven't seen any edits for Jujutsu
I have seen a
Kaisen's
few,
OP.
but not very many.
Yeah, like, I'm in the same Twitter sphere as you guys are, and I don't see a damn thing.
I've seen a few.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's more so the ED for Jujutsu Kaisen.
The ED has
Bingo,
quite a
bingo,
few as
bong.
well.
Well,
but-
the ED is the it is the yang to Aizoken's OP's yin.
what?
That's the most salient point Moth's made in a while.
It's very
I
similar
don't know
kind
what-
of in
on
aesthetics.
uppers
to
today.
I don't know what salient means, but I feel like it has to do with salt.
Sailing solution.
Bingo.
But yeah, no, I've talked about it like at length everywhere, and it's. I mean, it's obvious it's putting it in my top 3. I'm not even gonna like hide it. It's not really a spoiler. Everyone knows that it was going to be there because I've said at length that it's my favorite anime ever made at this point. So, if it came out last decade, it would have been above Mob Psycho. If it came out last decade, it would have been above Currently Gone, and that's saying a lot of things for me.
So last one on winter. Honestly, I feel like we're gonna blow through spring and summer pretty quick.
There's not
But-
that much to talk about. There's a few interesting ones though.
Irumakun. I want to talk about that one. Can I lead this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Irumakun feels like a manga that came out in the 90s. I don't know how else to describe it. Everything about it feels like so unrefined, like before they really started getting like the shonen formula down, where the main character is just he's dopey and he's kind of useless, but he's got the skill of having a heart of gold and always trying. Like, he almost comes off a little bit like Mob from Mob Psycho. But
That's a big stretch, my friend.
not really. But
Yeah, they're not similar characters at all, dude.
it's an anime that feels genuinely out of place in an era where it's still good. Like, it just feels old. It feels like it's 30 years older than it is.
Yeah, it's a show. This is an anime I put on the list without any, because I made the entire list, and this is a show that I watched all of, and when I learned it's getting another season, I got really excited, and the first season ends on like an interesting cliffhanger, and like it's just a really satisfying anime. I don't really have much more to say about it than that. I think it's really good.
I personally didn't
Yeah,
care for Irumakun of the small amount that I watched of it.
That's because you're a cuck.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. It's a
kinda agree
comedy,
on that
right?
one.
It's supposed to be a comedy. I didn't find it funny, so that's kind of do or die there, isn't it?
I found it entertaining, and that's all I need out of a
Fair enough.
comedy. Like, There's not that many like comedy, especially anime, that make me laugh. Kaguya-sama's like the one that actually makes me
Which is
laugh.
why it's
Most of the
on the
time
list.
I'm just like, oh yeah, that's good. I like that. It's never like belly laughing.
Yeah. But I laugh a lot at Kaguya-sama. That's actually next season, so we can get back to that pretty soon. Moving on from winter to spring, we have...
Yeah, if we want to move on to winter to spring, there you go, Kaguya-sama.
Well, it's the second one. But first, let's go with the first one on the list.
Well, no, let's like we can break the list.
Okay,
a little
no,
bit.
let's-
Kaguya-sama. No, like, fuck, talk about
Moth
Kaguya-sama.
just
You're
doesn't want to talk
resisting
about Tower
a
of
lot
God.
more than you have to right now.
No, I want to talk about Tower of God, but I need to get Frog to get rid of his butt hurt before we even talk about it.
Why would I
What's there
butthurt
to
about
talk
Kaguya-sama? I love Kaguya-sama.
I'm talking about Tower of God. I want you to get your good, positive feelings out there in the world before I talk about Tower
Tower
of
of
God.
God
Don't
sucks.
you want the good? True. Tower of God is poo-poo stinky.
All right, so we got 2 Korean line tunes that came out this year. This,
Guess how many were good?
and yeah, that's not even a joke. What was the other one? The other one is God of High School.
Yeah, both gods, both towers, probably. There's probably a tower in God of High School somewhere.
Yeah, Tower of God and God of High School, both of them Korean. Let me ask you, if you had to choose one, if somebody like held you at gunpoint and made you
God
watch
of
God of High
School.
School. 100%. No
both,
question.
I'm gonna beat both of you with a pipe wrench.
At least half of it's entertaining.
Tower of God just takes the best part of Hunter x Hunter and hyper-compresses
Wait.
it.
It's crazy for you to say that because I was about to say Tower of God feels like Hunter x Hunter with no soul.
I only watched like 2 episodes. I don't know.
Well, Tower of God is just it's
I also haven't
it's
seen
great
Hunter x Hunter,
character
so-
interaction. It comes off as like the Quentin Tarantino of anime, where a lot of it relies on character interaction.
Oh God, that's
You can say that about a lot of shows in this list too. That's what I'm angry about.
No,
It's about
the only show I genuinely feel that about is Golden Kamuy.
Golden Kamuy, I mean, yeah, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. That show probably has some fun characters in it, and it's probably a lot of fun.
It's only fun characters. Golden Kamuy
Yeah.
has nothing going for it except fun
And
characters.
that's I understand. And I respect that for sure. I think Izoken's a great character interaction. I think deca-dence is a great character interaction piece, like stuff like that. But why this one?
Tower of God. If Tower of God lives and dies by its character interaction, it's dead before you hit play on the first episode.
Are you kidding me? Like right off the bat, where he's running into the Sundari princess. I think the thing I liked about Tower of God is it just did not hold the viewer's hand.
Oh yeah, the Sundari princess, who I don't even know if she comes back. She wasn't in
does.
like the first 5 episodes.
She absolutely comes back and starts taking the exam to climb the tower
Why didn't she do it initially?
because she was supposedly not supposed
I
to.
don't care. I don't care.
Look, okay,
I don't care what it is.
look, you know,
Frog
from what I-
asks a question, gets an answer, and says, fuck you.
well, here's the thing. There's like 3 line tunes that really hit it big this year. It was Tower of God, God of High School, and then Sweet God Home.
Sweet Home, I think.
That's
Sweet Home.
that's not even true. There was
There were only
another
3.
one that had I forget what it's called though.
There were only 3, Mike. And the one thing, as much as I find most of them boring as all get out and just not interesting, I will say that at the very least, there's something about Korean storytelling where they don't hold your hand at all. They just start kicking you in the dick
I think
right
what
out
you're
the door.
referring to
And
is
I
that they don't have
genuinely
setup
appreciate-
or like writing.
And like Frog, I've made you watch Korean cinema this year. He's just talking out of
Wait,
his
no.
ass.
I've seen some. Wait, wasn't Oldboy Korean?
Yes.
Oldboy is fantastically written,
Yeah, but Old Boy doesn't hold your hand at all.
and not in the sense that you might
the
think,
entire
but it's like,
beginning 20 minutes is
No.
is like the narrator telling you what's going on.
I understand what he's saying
Like,
because it's like it's presented in such a seamless way.
Yeah, a drunk dude
But
gets
that's
kidnapped,
not
spends
holding
20
your
years
that's
in
not
a
holding
room
your hand. That's just holding
masturbating
your
to
hand and
workout
making
videos.
tutorials seem fun. That's like you know what I mean? You know,
no, like there's no like there is potential interest in the world of Tower of God, and it is not explained until the 3rd episode, and by then I was bored.
yeah, I was bored by the first episode. I was just anyway.
Whatever. Let's talk about Kaguya-sama. You know,
Oh,
just
everyone on
whatever.
Twitter
you're
who was
going,
hyping up
like,
Tower of
it's-
God, I hate you. I actually hate you.
Fucking Moth over here is like trying like to go to back for Tower of God, a show that is not going to be mentioned on this podcast ever
I'm
again.
gonna
Until
mention it.
season
I'm
2
gonna make a
comes
video
out.
on Tower of God. I'm gonna watch the whole thing now to spite.
Yeah, and by the end of it, you're gonna be like, man, that really is the best parts of Hunter x Hunter.
I have not even seen
believe
Hunter
it.
x Hunter.
I believe
I'll probably
it.
watch
Yeah,
Hunter x Hunter because people say it's pretty good. I know Mike has some criticisms of it, but
Hunter x Hunter is phenomenal, and then it just starts dragging ass during the video game arc, which you'd think would be the best arc, but then it gets better again.
I'll have to take no one's word for it, and I'll watch it myself. Moving on. Now we have Kaguya-sama.
Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2.
I love this show.
There are some shows that I truly feel are for lonely people, and this is one of them, so I'm going to step back.
What?
Wait. What?
Why?
Yeah,
This is actually a great show to watch with a loved one, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because it's hilarious and also funny and awkward, and it's about
Well,
love.
you see, the issue there, though, Frog, is that Moth can't watch shows that he enjoys with his loved one because she hates everything he likes.
That's not true. Is it? Maybe I don't have to.
Like, if we look at the list of, like, things that her and I both enjoyed together, like, Deca-dence is on the list, and Agretzko, and Jujutsu Kaisen.
Pretty
but,
good
like,
shows.
when we get to the stuff that the stuff that I have guilty pleasures for, she will not tolerate my guilty pleasures. Like, Baki, nope, ain't tolerating that at all.
Just watch it on your own.
And Moth only watches, that's the thing, Moth only watches anime when he's with his wife.
Absolutely. Mike is 100% correct on this one.
That's because I remember things about my friends.
I remember plenty of things about you, Mike. You're in a relationship with one of our friends. I remember Frog has a girlfriend right now.
Wait,
he has parents.
Wait, what's the wait? The first one doesn't.
I am not in a relationship.
Oh right, I guess with the younger generation, polyamory is all the rage.
In fact, I've not been in a relationship in 2 years.
Pretty pog. I haven't been in one for like 20, so you're doing okay.
What were all those like receipts you were sending me?
I don't know who. Like now, this is sounding like I was trying to cancel myself or something.
Kaguya-sama is very, very funny, and it's the only comedy anime this year that made me actually laugh, and very hard at that. It's really.
There are some
really
shows
good.
this year that made me laugh unintentionally.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. We can get to those later. But this one's the one that tried and succeeded the most. And it's
the show's like from episode 1 of season 2.
from scene 1 of season 2.
It's the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Like season 2 was better than the first season, and the first season was already fantastic.
Yeah.
I swear there was an anime I watched this season where the first episode made me laugh so hard I nearly threw up. Oh, it was Grand Blue Dreaming, but that came out in like 2012,
Yeah,
so never
probably.
mind.
2018.
I think you
2018.
Yeah. That was like a couple years ago. Anyway, very funny show. Watch it with your loved one, or if you don't, just watch it anyway. It's very fun with friends, and I laughed a lot, and it's a good time. Watch the first season too; it's very good.
Now, before we get into our next anime, I want to ask, how was your guys' New Year?
It's fine. I worked.
Did
I
you
wasn't
guys do
working. No, I
anything
wasn't
like
working.
fun
I
on New
was spending time with my girlfriend. Yeah.
I spent New Year's Eve for 16 hours working on a CT.
I've had coronavirus since Christmas Day.
Mike's Christmas present is he got 2 paid weeks off work.
Maybe paid. I haven't figured that out yet.
Mike's Christmas present. He's got 2 weeks off work.
I think they're legally required to pay you. I think they just are supposed to also take it at your vacation time, which Walmart 100% will do.
I don't have any vacation time.
Pog.
Then they still have to pay
Let's
you.
go. Fuck the system.
Let's go.
I did want to tell you guys a story of what happened to me on New Year's. I went to go pick up medication at my Walgreens. And for those of you who, because I guess there are people on this podcast, or who listen to this podcast who live in Alaska, off of Spinard and Northern Lights, there's a Walgreens. And as I walked in, there was a homeless man covered in blankets, just kind of muttering to himself. I'm like, well, he didn't ask me for money. That's a good day. But when I came out of the pharmacy, he's still standing there right by my car, except he's now just masturbating.
Cool.
Just, it's 5 degrees outside, and this homeless man is just masturbating. And then he looks, and he makes eye contact with me. And honest to God, I thought I had crackhead energy before I saw this man. And this man just jerking it 100 miles an hour, staring me in the eye going, yes, Mittens was a good cat. Mittens, oh, good cat, Mittens. Like he was looking into my soul and not even seeing me while just jerking it.
Cool.
I was waiting for this to be a lead-in into Namayoki Takure, or Wave Listen to Me, and it's just not. Just a story, just a random story in the middle of our seasonal, our year, best of the year episode.
Well, there you go.
Talk
It's
about
a
an old man
relevant
jerking
story
it.
for the new year.
So
What the fuck was
this
that?
next show
What the
is
fuck?
pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, Wave Listen to Me. I didn't finish it.
I didn't finish it either, but I did like what I saw.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about Wave Listen to Me. I felt it was a very good anime, but at the time in which it came out, I just had no desire to keep watching
Yeah,
it.
kind of.
I just fell off it. I think I probably won't go back to it just because of how much there is to
This
watch.
is a show I wish was live action, actually.
I do not.
100%.
I absolutely do not.
If this was a live action drama, I would
not watch
the
it.
fuck out of
Because
it.
like it just
No, we saw.
It just works
We
better,
saw
I
with Sweet Home that live action sucks.
I did not watch that yet, but I maybe will.
Wait, that sucks. Everything I've heard about Sweet Home is that it's fantastic.
It is
what are you talking about?
boring.
I don't trust
the
Matt's
CGI
opinion
looks
on
god
anything, so
awful.
I'm gonna watch
These
it myself.
monsters, the monsters
true.
from Sweet Home, would look so much better in a drawn
I mean,
media than
probably,
they do
but-
with the bad CGI.
But that does. I mean, they're from a manhwa, I'm pretty sure. So I mean,
The actors are like, and I get it. You know, I'm sitting here at the America standard where we have phenomenal actors such as Adrian Brody and Keanu Reeves. Like, I get that I should not hold other countries' actors to higher standards, but the acting is bad.
I will watch it myself.
Wave
Because you
Listen to Me.
I mean, if you describe Orange's animation as bad, but Dorohedoro's is way
Orange?
better, then I don't trust your opinion on CG. I'm sorry.
Are we talking? What are we talking about? Citrus?
He's talking about Orange, the studio that does Beastars.
Oh yeah, no, that looks horrible.
Yeah, this is why I don't trust
is-
your opinion on CG.
Just a garbage opinion, just a really bad opinion. Anyway,
Beastars
Wave,
is the young
listen-
pope of anime.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah, but brand new animal. Speaking of the young pope of anime and
What are you talking-
Beastars, brand new animal.
Wait, watch Wave Listen to Me. I wanted to put it on here just because it deserves a mention. I thought it was a very good comedy anime that I just didn't have enough time for. And if someone finishes it, get back to me and let me know what you thought.
If someone makes a
'cause
live action
I liked it
sitcom
a
of
lot.
that show, please let me know because I'll actually watch that. It just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the animation in it. It's pretty fun, but it just has like such good sitcom energy that I think I would like to sit down with it, like a community style kind of show.
If this ever got a dub, I think that's all I would need to go back
That
to.
too, maybe that's it.
Yeah, no, I agree with Mike on that one. It's something where, regardless of the context, a loudmouth, shit-talking girl running a radio station, that could be.
They have to get a
easy.
good cast though, like really good.
Yeah,
Her voice actor was so good.
Yeah,
in
you have to match
Japanese.
that at least.
Yeah.
Had that perfect energy for like a Japanese radio where they just fucking talk. Yeah. It's so good. But yeah, going into that, we have brand new animal. The Trigger anime from this
Trigger's
year.
me.
Trigger.
Makes me want to kill myself.
Trigger makes good things. I like Trigger.
I can't believe that an anime actually made me nostalgic for Darling in the Franxx.
Trigger.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
I don't have much positive to say about Brand New Animal, but I'm not going to disparage it like that because it is nowhere near as bad as Darling in
Here's
the
the thing.
Franxx.
I
You
think
fucking loser.
Trigger shows, I praise them a lot for the same things every time. This looks gorgeous. It's okay. Like, it's one of those things.
The problem with Brand New Animal is that the plot is just pro-mare, but not as engaging because it doesn't have the same action.
No, it's Promare. I actually agree with Mike on this one. Promare, phenomenal, handles things like oppressed minorities way better, much more likable characters.
Let's put the brakes on it. No.
Well, I think there's definitely a more involved thing with the minority thing in BNA than there was in Promare.
Are you kidding me? Like
in BNA, like, granted,
it's not amazing.
I could write 2 different videos on Brand New Animal. Just I didn't because I had a strike on my account whenever I had the motivation to do it, and I didn't want to get another strike. But my issue with Brand New Animal, more so than just it's a copy of like Promare, which, like, even down to the villain is secretly one of the minority class. It's so fucking gross that these 2 stories are the exact same. My main issue is that, like, all the interesting bits in Brand New Animal are just not part of the main story.
You mean the baseball
And-
game?
What?
You mean the baseball game?
No, I mean, yes, that baseball episode's fantastic. Baseball
Yeah,
episode
the baseball
is-
episode was pretty okay.
No, like there's a great, I believe it's episode 6 of Brand New Animal, in which it tackles like the concept of a being part of a minority group while also being part of a more financially
Stable section of that group.
yes, and how that like robs you of a little bit of that identity and makes you blind to it until you're forced to see it. And
like
when
being
that
Will Smith.
happened, like that episode's fucking awesome. And there's just not enough of that in a show that's this much about racial minorities. And then there's also, making like your racial minority group literal bestial monsters genetically and stuff, and it's like, okay,
what's
you're stretching
funny-
this metaphor farther than it needs to go, anime.
What's funny is, like, I think I would empathize more if I was in a world where, like, the oppressed minority group were were people.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Moth will support Black Lives Matter once they're werewolves.
Well, September 21st
Well, they're already
already
the Black
happens. They
Panthers.
already have like tails and stuff now, right?
They're all furries. Black Lives Matter just got taken over by the furry movement.
This is a bad bit. This
This
bit's
is a
over.
horrible
Great,
bit, Mike.
Great
Why did you-
Pretender is the next anime.
September 21st
You know,
was a
every
meme on
time
Twitter where white people got superpowers. Was the joke, by the way. I'm not racist.
Yes, you are, Frog. The Great Pretender is interesting because I think it's good. I just, every time I pick it up, I watch a continued episode. Like, I think I've seen 4 episodes in 4 months. And every time I watch this episode, I'm like, yeah, that was good. And then I have no desire to watch it until I stumble upon it again by mistake.
I think what I
Yeah.
saw was very cool, and I feel the exact same way. It's like one of those things. It's like, this is really good. What else is
I saw
on?
the first episode.
Nah.
That first episode really like, oh, this is interesting. The character like dynamics are really cool. There's a slight gay undertone that's like not too
There's
overbearing.
not even remotely a slight gay undertone. I'm a master of gay undertones, and there's no gay here.
It's like a tiny moment in the first episode.
To insinuate, Moth, that you are the master of any kind of subtext
Bro,
is to spit in my mouth.
Bro, I guarantee I watch more gay anime than
I just
you do,
wanna-
by a mile.
More than anything, I want to praise this movie's use of color. Show's use of color. Holy shit!
Oh no, the show's use of backdrops.
Background colors and just oh my god,
Animation's really like springy
Animation's
and
super great.
interesting.
It's like a much better Days of Our Lives.
It's the best 8 out of 10 I've seen.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
actually a
put it that
great way to put it.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say about it.
Like if this show came out like in like the 90s and early 2000s, it would be that
It'd be a
show
classic.
that people would talk about.
It would be right there
Yes,
with Cowboy Bebop. Yeah.
Exactly. Because I think Cowboy Bebop's a really good 8 out of 10. Which I'm gonna get fucking shot in the dick
We
for
should do an
saying.
episode.
Someone's
Do we
gonna
have an
start
episode
beating
scheduled for
you
Bebop,
to
actually?
death at the cadence of Tank.
We do have an episode scheduled.
That'll be
for Bebop
interesting.
because you wanted to watch
Yeah,
it.
nice, thank you.
Man, can I request that we miss one episode when we watch Cowboy Bebop? It's not a very relevant episode, but I hate it so much.
I mean, you can just
Well,
choose to skip it. I
we
guess
can-
we're probably gonna talk about it.
We can
anyway.
talk about it. Yeah, we can talk about it in the background. We can either
it's,
do.
it's the
a whole
episode
show.
where he goes to hunt the clown.
We'll talk about it later.
Like I can't handle that episode.
So, Great Pretender is
yeah,
very
Great
cool.
Pretender.
I love the art direction.
It's
a lot.
If you like Bebop, if that's where you're going for best, like your best anime, Great Pretender is a good place to go next.
Yeah, it's got similar vibes actually, in a weird way.
So do we have anything
I actually
to
think
even
it's by the same person. I'm
Is
not
it?
sure.
Do we even have anything to say about Glepner, or can we just pretend we didn't
Then
watch it?
Gleipnir,
The next anime
bad.
is Gleipnir.
but
I just-
Wait. Excuse me, Frog. What was that? Gleipnir's bad.
Glepner's bad.
Yes,
Can you
bad.
say that again for me?
I never
Gleipnir's
said
bad.
it was fucking amazing.
We
Well,
I
said
said it got
there
good
was at
animation.
least-
I am right.
there
It
was at
doesn't
least
even have
3
good animation.
episodes where Frog was like, "It's good," and I was like, "It's not."
I never
It's
said it was
stinky
good. I
poo-poo."
said it's fine.
It is, you know that joke we have about CSI where it's like, this episode, the the author's thinly disguised fetish.
Excuse me for wanting to, watch something to get a conclusion of a couple more episodes.
I got a strong feeling that Glepner, like if not the mangaka, the studio head who is in charge of it, like for the animation department, just loved panties. That man adored panties. Like,
Moth, are you kidding me? It's a show about, like, literally a character has to be Vord to have superpowers. Like,
nope, I'm still thinking.
I think you're missing the, like, you're like, this is one fetish, and you're completely, like, you're going for that nail, and that bigger nail's right next to it, fam.
The one thing I like most about the show is that
the
Vore
is too easy. It was panties.
Glepner looks pretty good. It's got a great animation stuff, but at least in the early episodes, it probably kind of falls off. But episode 2 has a really cool fight scene in it. That's the most I can say about it, but otherwise it's pretty mediocre.
I only put it on the list because I was hoping that Frog would decide it's bad so that I could be smug about it.
I literally never was like, it's amazing, it's the best. I just like, I'm gonna give it a shot and maybe it'll be surprising. And then it wasn't. Sorry.
Alright, so summer 2020 then? We moving out of here?
I think we're done, yeah. Glepner was short.
Now we're...
oh boy, the god of high school. Whoa! Oh,
Summer 2020, first anime, the god of high school.
I was hyped for this show when it started coming out, dude.
For an anime that absolutely sucks ass, I will say it has one of my favorite fight scenes. And that's just where the two main characters are just pummeling the ever-living piss out of each other.
There's some great fight scenes in the couple... for a while, actually, there's a lot of good fight scenes.
I would say, what's funny is the main character... If we look at Jujutsu Kaisen, which is later down on the list, the main character from Jujutsu Kaisen and the main character from the God of High School are the same character, yet the one from Jujutsu Kaisen is 10 times more enjoyable and lovable.
Because they're different.
That's just no... Like, the main character from the God of High School is the most generic shonen... Like, it even has the goggles thing from 90s anime.
You mean from Digimon? He is Tai from Digimon?
I mean, it's from more than just
He's
Digimon,
like Goku,
but yes.
but, like, less interesting.
You know what's so...
he said the thing, he's like Goku.
But less interesting.
You know what's so frustrating about the God of High School?
No. The reason I'm laughing about you saying it's like Goku is because Goku is the name of Monkey from the Journey to the West,
and he gets Goku's power.
Yes,
he literally gets the monkey.
I literally just thought he like reminded me of Goku, but like lamer.
No, Goku was originally was like Dragon Ball. The original is just a retelling of Journey to the West.
Mike, I literally saw the tapestry on the wall and said, "Oh, the main character is going to become Goku."
I mean,
are you
no
referring to
believe it was
Wukong?
Son Wukong.
Yeah, was that what Goku is like? Is that the Japanese name for Wukong or something?
I believe so.
I have no idea. I'm not going to try.
Because I know he becomes Wukong later.
I think what's frustrating about this, as somebody who is an absolute connoisseur of animes where the entire main cast are dumb, like Azazel-san, Beelzebub, Gintama, where I live for stupid main characters, having 3 complete idiots on the main cast that then aren't good.
Only the one guy is really like an explicit idiot.
Yeah. All 3 of them are dumb as hell.
Wait, why?
No.
Wait, hang on. The other two characters are just like actually. Well, first of all, like the sword girl is like shown to be like a sword genius.
Nope. The sword girl falls into the freaking.
And the other guy doesn't
really
show his intelligence off. He just kind of is very stoic and quiet.
Nope. Sword girl is Sakura. She gets Sakura. It's so bad.
He means Sakura from Naruto.
Yeah.
But that's just because this is a generic shonen, and she has to get generic shonen girlified.
Do we want to?
Can't have the girl.
If we're going to talk about actually handling female characters really well, One has been doing a really, really good job.
One does a great job everywhere. I love that man.
Shut up. One has been doing really well with Tornado.
Tatsumaki.
The funny thing is, I don't think her and Saitama are ever going to trade blows because they're actually on equal par with each other.
I think
and it would be that thing where Saitama would have to win, and he just doesn't want to do that to Tornado.
I mean, I don't know why they would fight. I haven't caught up, so I don't know if there's even a reason they would ever fight. But whatever.
So yeah, God of High School, not good.
Watch the first 5 episodes if you want to see a great couple like fight choreography. Episode 2 has an amazing cut by Watanabe that is I still watch to this day. It's incredible. That's all.
So second anime on the list, Corporatism is bad. Mike, take it away.
Wait, what?
Deca-dence.
Oh yeah,
I love this show so fucking much. It's the back whenever we had to like move this episode, we were gonna do like a short like Q&A. We didn't get very many questions, but one of them we got was from our boy. I believe it was from Egg. And Egg asked, he asked, like, what's an example of an anime you've watched that does, like, subtext of, like narrative subtext of, like, of a real-world issue really poorly? And Decadence is the exact opposite of that. You can watch this show and not know what it's criticizing unless, like, you actually read into the narrative structure of it. And I think that is a big plus in its favor, because it's non-distracting. Like, I absolutely hate whenever a show, like, beats you... we're gonna get to another show that does this next season that's my favorite anime this year. Whenever a show doesn't overtly beat you over the head with its conclusion that it wants to help you, like, understand, it's so much more engaging. And this show does it so fucking well.
It absolutely tells you what it wants you to think.
It absolutely doesn't.
When does it do that?
Like, the only reason, Moth, that you know it's a criticism of Western capitalism is because I know it's a criticism of Western capitalism.
Okay, let me put it this way, Mike. I understood it was a criticism of Western capitalism.
Cool.
Did you, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, because we made the joke, you are not the master of understanding subtext you think you are.
But there is no subtext. It is absolutely 100%. Hey, we trusted our future to a corporation. Oh, look, we're now boned. Like, there's no ifs, ands, ors, or buts about it. It was 100% that.
No, I mean, you are correct. But the way that the show itself is structured is that, like, you don't have to think about it in terms of real-world comparisons. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, it's not necessarily, like, you don't have to connect that, like, parallel, but the moment someone would point it out to someone else, you get it. And I think, though, like, this has led to a lot of people not liking the show for some reason.
It's not even remotely subtle. I
think people didn't like it because it had a really big shift in episode 2, but... or something.
Honestly, that shift is the only reason I kept watching.
It was so fun, though. That's a really cool, interesting thing. Although I do admit, I would have really liked just a pure show in that universe because it was already really well established in episode 1. But
Yeah,
I think it's an extra layer that
first
adds to
episode
it, so
is
it's cool.
Like that because we talked about it before. That twist is so great.
Yeah, no, I think it's also awesome.
It adds a lot of texture to the show.
I guess people were excited because the first episode presented a great world, and I guess they were excited about just exclusively that, which I don't blame them for. I guess it's an understandable complaint to have, but I think it's just kind of throwing a series away.
I'm a big fan of advocating for people to be like for enjoying things for what they are rather than for what they're
100%.
not. And I know people went into this because it's Studio Nut's second anime. Their first one
Nut! Sorry.
Their first
so
one
sorry.
being, fucking dumbass.
Here's the thing, whenever I saw that in the opening credits, it would just say, like, Studio Nut, like, I'd be watching it on the bed with my wife, because it's on Hulu, and I would just start spasming on the bed, like, oh, Studio Nut!
And you'd miss, like, the first 5 minutes of every episode and be like, I don't know what's going on, man.
No. Anyway.
But, like, their first show was Yojo Senki, and a lot of people like that just because they think it's, like, a fucking fascist lolly show, which is... Yojo Senki's another show that even the fans of it don't really get it. Yeah, Tanya...
Honestly, Tanya's Saga of the Little Devil is how I imagine hell will end up for me if I ever die.
He'll be reincarnated in a magical world
as a
that's
lolly.
World War I. Yeah.
Honestly, like, it's the whole thing where, like, I really hope Buddhism isn't correct, not because I don't think it's a respectable religion, but because the idea of being reincarnated as a woman terrifies me.
I think you should watch Decadence. I also think you should watch Yojo Senki.
No.
You got anything to say, Frog?
Very good show. I like it very much. Please watch show.
Moving on.
Please watch Decadence.
Oh man.
Please.
Oh man. I got the perfect intro for this next anime. This anime was the perfect dowsing rod to find people gatekeeping was meant to find.
Wait, I gotta look at the list again. What are you talking about?
You're just wrong.
This is just...
No,
I got a better...
Anybody who had any issue with Uzaki-chan is exactly the person gatekeeping was meant
Anyone
to
who has issues with Uzaki-chan, recognize it. Okay, listen, I'm not gonna defend everyone on Twitter being dumb, but I just think the show sucks. It's this bad.
No, it does suck. But here's the thing. Any other season with any other audience, we would have just been like, oh yeah, it's a semi-ecchi slice of life, whatever. It's trash.
Yeah.
We know it's trash. Everybody knows it's trash. But here's the thing. People had to make a big deal about it.
The reason, because every once in a while this happens with anime, where some people will get super smug about being like, oh, you don't like our show? Oh, you don't like boobs? And they'll just be like this is why I don't talk about this show.
No, I would say it was on the other side of the spectrum where people started making a big deal about it, and everyone else was
the people making a big deal about it were small Twitter accounts with 5 followers. What the fuck are you talking about?
I hate
man.
this
All
show.
I'm saying is they galvanized us. Like, trust the plan, man.
We're like the show's fuck you. It sucks. You're bad taste.
Uzaki-chan is bad. The camera actively infantilizes Uzaki in a way that the manga doesn't. The character, they even changed the character design to make her more childlike for the anime. I despise this show.
It's QAnon on the anime.
I mean, even aside those changes, I think the show's just bad. But yeah.
Yeah, no. I like the manga, and you know what? I think the manga has a lot of the same issues that the show has, but it's more enjoyable. And the fact that this became like a cultural touchstone for people to fight over actively pisses me off. No, fuck you.
It's like the least interesting show to fight over too.
So that's the best thing. Like, you don't understand. I will absolutely jump in the mud and just fisticuff somebody for no reason other than because it's funny. And this anime absolutely provides me that avenue.
Anime fans
are the worst human being on the planet. I love it.
They don't deserve rights.
No, and it's so good.
They are subhuman. All I'm saying is, I support eugenics, but only for anime fans. And that includes myself. I'll be the first one to be castrated.
Absolutely not. I am part of the weeaboo master race.
Well, unfortunately, you better get to breeding quick, because whenever I become president of the United States, all weebs force castration.
No more balls.
Trust me, dude. It's fine. I'll just hide in a fursuit.
No more vagine.
Speaking of global disasters, let's talk about the next lolcow anime.
The Japan Sinks is a global disaster, not because Japan sinks, but because it exists.
We made it! This is the funniest show
Japan
of the year.
Sinks. This show is so amazing.
The only thing worth memorizing about this show is Sniper Grandpa.
There's a lot of things worth memorizing, though. A lot more than that.
People recently refound the clip of the fucking kid getting fucking decked by the rock. And
I think that entire episode was the only reason to watch Japan
It's so
Sinks.
good!
I don't know, listen, you watch the first episode and it ends with raining dead bodies. I can kind of see how you can still take it seriously. At that point, I was gone. But, I can kind of get it. But in episode 2, when a man cartoonishly kills himself in a yam/minefield,
oh my
and,
gosh.
The body rains down like confetti.
Right there, is I was like, alright, I'm done. The only character worth watching is
that
gone.
part was... I think at that point, I was still in it. And episode 3 was what put me off. But it didn't take long, is what I'm getting at, for any of us.
That dude, when she's like, I don't want to talk to my senpai, I'm gonna pretend to have to go pee, and then the girl's like, I'll be supportive, I'm a friend, let's go pee. You pee here, I'll go down a little further, and then she goes, oh, I'm gonna pee,
and then she looks over, she looks around, and then she's just dead. There's no animation. It's just, oh, she's dead now. And the Kite comes over in his parachute and goes, wait, stop, she's dead. And then they don't look at her and they start laughing. People like the show.
This is so fucking
Who likes
funny,
this show?
dude.
People whose opinion I respect like this show. I don't understand.
Well, so moving on.
No. I want to talk more about this.
I got nothing. We had an entire
I know,
episode about it.
and it wasn't enough.
No, it was. Just moving on to the most sterilized anime, because God forbid Sanrio make anything with any character development. Agretzko Season 3. The season that really could have taken Agretzko and either ended it or putting it in a really nice spot, changed a whole lot of things up, really evolved the characters, but instead decided, no, we gotta keep selling merch.
I can't believe that Moth over here is like, man, I'm sad this Sanrio anime made by a corporation that just designs mascots to sell merch is gonna make a show where the status quo will not change. I am so mad about this. That's
but
your
here's
stance
the thing,
right
like
now.
the first season, okay, this sets up Agretzko for something new. Second season, nothing changes, but you see it. You're like, okay, I can see how nothing changed at the end of season 2 because the entire arc would have too greatly altered the flow of the show. Season 3 was subtle enough that you really could have developed the characters and moved on with it, but they decided not to, and that's why I'm mad.
Moth, you just explained the appeal to
Sitcoms.
slice of life.
To be fair,
anime and
I've seen a lot of people
sitcoms.
complain about this season of Agretzko. It's not just a
No,
Moth
because
thing,
this season could have been the best season, and it was it's just like it had all the best content, but because you realize by the end of it that Sanrio is not going to let her evolve as a character, you were like, okay, well, this is the worst season because this is the season where I learned Santa isn't real.
So that's it. I watched the first season of the show when it first came out, and that's the last thing I watched of it because it's only okay.
Are we at fall?
We're in fall, yeah.
Oh,
we
man.
made it. I'm burned out, and we made it.
This is one of my favorite shows this year. First up.
I would say, if we're actually going to do anime of the year, I would say Jujutsu Kaisen, on an unbiased opinion, is anime of the year.
If you're going by popularity, it probably is.
Quality of animation, character design, character interactions, the plot, the idea. It took the shonen genre, and I don't think it paved any new roads. But in the same way that Fire Force is the shonen genre really nailed to a cross, and this is what the shonen genre is, and it's disappointing. Jujutsu Kaisen this is if you take the formula, don't change it too much, and are still really good at writing.
You actually hit the nail on the head there, I think, though.
I would say even more so, Jujutsu Kaisen. There was something that you experienced, Frog, where people were surprised that death exists in the show.
Yeah, I was really confused.
Oh man, that episode! Holy crap! Where it's
Well, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
The coolest summoning power gets wasted.
Don't spoil it.
That's
That's
what
all
makes
I'm
me
saying.
so mad.
What were we gonna say, Mike?
I loved that cursed power. I loved that cursed power so much.
Listen, I think it's kind of okay to spoil some of it. We're in the best of the year.
Fine.
There's a character in Jujutsu Kaisen that appears in the opening who just dies.
Yeah.
And not only just dies, but dies 2 episodes after being introduced.
In a really quick, not ceremonious manner either. Just not it happens.
And in
Yeah,
the second episode
the
he's
most
in, his fucking
anticlimactic.
mom dies.
Yeah.
It's really good. I like the put him in the opening, and it kind of made him look like he was going to join the main crew.
Oh, and then they show that he could have joined the main crew.
Yeah.
That the main character expected
Yeah,
him
the
to
main
join
character
the main crew.
made up these hopeful memories, and right as he was dying, wait, no, this what could have happened. Yeah.
I would say what frustrates me is that character had the best cursed energy.
It's really cool.
Hands
It's got a
down.
cool. Although I think Fuji, it's been a while since I read the manga. It's been like a month now. But the sucky looking guy, the guy with the black hair, the guy with the shadow puppets, he's got the coolest cursed energy power, I think.
Shadow puppets.
Yeah.
The other, the Sasuke's.
Those aren't shadow puppets. Those are summons.
Yeah, the shadow puppets.
Yeah,
The
they're-
shadow puppets is the principal.
No, he literally makes a shadow puppet, and then the shadow from the hand signal becomes the
Yeah.
summon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really
fair
cool.
enough.
He has a bunch of those. And he has rules against them too. I've read
I-
the whole manga, and he's the coolest. I'm just saying.
I would say though the fact that we have a potential of having a really good Kurama, that it is we are on the knife's edge of balancing a good Kurama character, and I'm so
What is a
interested to see
Kurama
what happens.
character?
He's
from
talking
Naruto.
about Yu Yu Hakusho, but what character are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about Naruto, Kurama, the demon inside Naruto.
Oh,
Untailed Fox?
Yeah, the nine-tailed fox.
yeah, he's talking about the Kyuubi.
Oh, you mean? Are you talking about like Yuji with like his?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
talking about.
Oh, here's the thing.
Itadori's,
It's way
like,
different because Itadori doesn't like rely on his dumb, stupid.
Naruto, that's the thing. A lot of people only remember the last, like, 15% of Naruto. Prior to that point, Kurama was a huge burden for Naruto to have. Like, a lot of people are like, oh man, Kurama made Naruto OP. Like, yes, at the very end.
No, actually, all of Naruto's spiritual energy comes from Kurama until he starts to develop his own in Shippuden.
Right.
I mean, same with Yuji.
I get what you're saying, but Kurama was more of a
Sukuna.
burden to Naruto up until pretty much the very end. Until like then he.
I mean, doesn't he just channel the energy
Not-
like a billion million times, and he just has a billion?
Listen.
power? I haven't watched Naruto. I just watched the good the Plague videos on him, but
I could talk about Naruto. The thing you just said is just not true. Like the Kyuubi doesn't become any issue for Naruto up and until like the first the waterfall fight with Sasuke when he first gets taken over by it, and even then it doesn't come out that often. And the next time it's an issue is the bridge fight against Orochimaru.
I mean, isn't Naruto also like
And
the son of
then-
like demigods or some shit? Like,
Okay, I mean, Naruto's the reincarnation of one of the gods of ninjutsu. But
He is
don't
one
worry
of the
about that.
two reincarnations of the gods of Jujutsu. The two sons of the best MILF in all of anime.
I just like Yuji
That's
because he
just
just
not
happens to be a super fucking athlete, and he didn't have any cursed energy. He had to get it with this finger.
It was very heavily implied that he actually had a lot of latent cursed energy.
I don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
no. His
he was
super-
an enhancer type.
No,
No, because it
He's an
like
enhancer
his
type.
thing is that he's really gung ho, like so much so that the show makes a point to point it out. Like he didn't have any like
yeah, the
energy
yeah.
inside of him.
The only reason he saw the curses in the first part was because Sasuke Boy was
They were
literally
in that
saying like,
domain.
"Yo, you're in a domain. The energy's thick here. Even you can see it."
Yeah, well, it's implied once again that he had latent power.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, Frog is up to date on the manga. I
Right,
think
but
he's
it was
a little bit more.
it was implied very much in the first episode.
I-
They're like, hey, this guy could be a vessel because he has the
I
latent
disagree.
power to do it.
He that wasn't what
No.
happened at all. He just became a vessel, and they're like, "Wait, is he a vessel? There's a 1 in a million chance."
Yeah, like literally, the dude was like, "Hey, don't do that, you will die." And he was like, "Bet," and then did it. And he was like, "Okay, you happen to survive. That
Now
means
we
we
gotta
can
kill you."
use you."
Well, no, it was even worse than that because it was like 1 in a million chance he became a vessel and he couldn't control it, and then it was like even more of a chance that he actually can. He just got really lucky, basically.
Yeah.
I think it was. I'm not sure if that was a predetermined thing. If it is a cursed energy thing, and he actually did have some latent stuff, and that's what allows him to control him, I doubt it because they never ever mention it. Or it's just literally luck based on like when you were born or something. Then it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I don't know if Sukuna actually looks like him, but inside the Mind Palace he does. So I think there might be something there. but-
Maybe
No,
that's
Sukuna
actually a good
absolutely
point.
looks like
That's
that.
actually a decent point because I haven't thought about that. But there might be something.
I still love the comment where he keeps touching Sukuna's cursed energy, and he breaks into the guy's domain.
Yeah, that's in the newest
And
episode.
Sukuna's like, "Hey, couldn't help but notice you didn't listen to me." He's like, "You came to me, mother." Like, oh, that was so good.
Dude, the final arc. Well, not the final arc because we're only halfway. through the
We're
season.
picking up. Yeah, January 17th. We're picking back up.
But the final arc of the first half of the first season is just like there's a moment where Itadori looks at like the main bad guy of that little arc, and he says to him the best line I've ever heard in my life. He says to the man, "I'm about to say something that makes everything I've ever said in my life feel like a lie. I'm gonna kill you." That is so raw,
good.
dude.
It's really good because like the entire season so far up to this point is establishing how little how much Itadori cares about like making people die properly or like avoid death as much as possible. And he even in like this arc currently, he talks about how he doesn't want to kill anybody because he fears that is going to like change something in him, and like there's like a kind of a threshold you can never return from at that point, and all that just gets tossed away in that moment. It's really, really good. It's really well done.
It's so like, and it's incredibly done in the anime.
Yes.
Because I saw you showed me the panel afterwards, and I thought the panel looked good, but the anime was able to give it that zhuzh, that like
no the anime.
Like,
there are a lot of times where animes don't carry the weight of the manga, and this falls into the same category as Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man Season 1, where this absolutely enhances it.
It's very good. The manga is also fantastic, though. I have to give props where it's due. Please go read it if you enjoy the anime once it's done, or right now, whenever you feel like it. It's very good. It gets even better, in my opinion, after where the anime is going to end. And the anime is going to end very strongly, yeah. I can tell already. Good for you, Mappa.
I look forward to when it ends, because I read a little bit of Juju, but I will actually read it when it is.
Good for you, Mappa. I think it's almost over, to be honest. It feels like it's like there's, and without spoiling anything, it feels like there's not much left to do in the story. But I could be wrong.
I've been telling you guys, Mappa is king. I've been saying this
I disagree.
Moff, we have in this episode Dorohedoro and Jujutsu Kaisen, two anime on the exact opposite ends of things.
I mean, he likes.
I'm just saying, Mappa is king.
No, Mappa isn't like this golden boy. It's the team that gets put together to make things. There can be good teams, but oftentimes Mappa has only okay to not good teams.
Nope, because Mappa also did Golden Kamui, so you could shut your whole
didn't the
mouth.
first season Golden Kamui look like really bad? I didn't watch it, but
yes. Like the whole reason I didn't watch Golden Kamui is because the first episode
they might get good properties. I'll not deny
me.
that. They got Attack on Titan now, which is they're not doing a very good job with either.
The first episode has low quality JPEG fire.
Pretty cool.
Anyway,
all I'm saying is I think Mappa is trying. It's like they're weird. I think they have a lot of good hits and they have a lot. They're very.
Oh no, I was wrong. Golden Kamui is done by Geno Studio, which pretty much has only done Golden Kamui.
Yeah, okay.
They did Kokuko.
Yeah, Mappa's done a lot of stuff. Me and Mike had a really good conversation on the episode where you weren't here about about Mappa, actually, because Chainsaw Man got an anime announced for Mappa as well, about how we're concerned with Mappa's production cycle and the way it treats its workers, because they have put out, I think, 9 shows this year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And all of varying quality, the only one I would say is good is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen is fantastic, too.
In this season, they had another show that was a bad sports anime about a dude that, like, I couldn't get past the first episode, and it was just kind of boring. Like, they don't treat their staff. Wait,
what sports anime is this? The samurai gymnast?
Yes.
Yeah, that could have been so much better.
Yeah, there's a reason why we're not going to talk about it, because it's so forgetful and not
Mappa's
good.
That's why I'm scared about CSM.
Mappa's trying to be Bones, but they aren't letting anything cook.
That's the thing. Bones doesn't put that much stuff out in general. They're very, very slow.
Exactly. And when they put it out, like, it's usually really good. Usually. Yeah. My Hero Academia.
Notwithstanding.
Most recent. Yeah. But, like, they did Mob Psycho. Yeah. And Mappa's, like, Jujutsu is trying to be Mob Psycho. I think Jujutsu Kaisen feels to me like they're MHA season 1 or 2. Like that's the kind of shit I'm feeling. That's actually what it does feel like. Like, I'm praying that Chainsaw Man ends up being
maybe even a little better than MHA season 1 and 2, I think, even.
I would say so. It's more consistent, more visually interesting than My Hero Academia.
Yeah. And I just really want them to. I'm rooting for them. Don't get me wrong. I want Mappa to be a good studio, because they
are a good studio. They did Overlord.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, that's Madhouse.
Did Madhouse?
Yes, Madhouse did Overlord, and it sucks.
Okay, yeah, it sucks because Mappa didn't do it. There you go.
Oh, we gotta do an episode on Overlord.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, you guys, I gotta stop being negging here. You guys are excited for this new upcoming Chainsaw Man. I just gotta be nice about it and be like, okay, you can sometimes let people enjoy things.
I'm not trying to...
Chainsaw Man is good. You refuse to read it because it's manga. And all of your takes that you've tried to, like, trigger me and Moth on are... Like, they've been really bad. Like, worse than your normal, like,
It's just because they don't make any sense, really. They don't apply to the series. If they applied to the series, at least in a tangential way, it'd be kind of like, funny to argument with it. But like,
you tried to say to us that it's an incel show, and that every single character that Denji interacts with, he does it in, like, a shallow incel way. And the character that you used as an example of that is a character that never interacts with Denji once in the entire show.
I used the wrong character. I was trying to use that one girl who chains him up by his neck with a bunch of other dudes.
yeah,
That's
the
thing you just said.
that's a huge spoiler, by the way.
Something
Hang
that
on,
happens
to.
No, it's fine, because the thing you just said, all those characters that are chained up, none of them are Denji.
I'm pretty sure he's
No,
one
he's
of
not.
them.
He's not.
No!
That's explicitly not, because that's part of the story is that he's not there. Oh!
Oh my god, Chainsaw Man's good. You should read it.
Also, that character, by the way,
read it,
is
I'll
one of
just
the.
watch it because-
First of all, everyone's attracted to her, but she's also like the least sexualized character in the whole series. It's really cool the way it's done that, and oh man,
You know what? Mappa's animating it, so I'll give it a chance.
Mappa's animating it, and that's why I'm worried.
We're gonna have that episode, and like, one of two things is gonna happen. Moth is either gonna be like, man, Mappa sucks now, and we're gonna be like, yeah! Or Moth is gonna be like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. This show's amazing, and we're gonna be like, fuck you.
I think I'm like 60% hopeful about the CSM anime. That's where I'm at. Because if they get a similar team or the same team as Jujutsu Kaisen, I'll be very, very happy and excited. And if they get something else, and if it's middling, I'll still be like, okay. But if it's bad, I will be really sad. That's where I'm at. Okay, there we go. There's my take on Mappa. I've already said it before. That's on the last couple episodes. We're gonna move on now. We've been talking about
It's
Jujutsu
never
Kaisen
not
for a
gonna.
while.
It's not never gonna stop being said. Mappa is the most like.
I want
like,
Mappa to
not
stop abusing his
shoddy.
workers. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
Hey, that'd be nice.
Akadama Drive.
Yeah, Akadama fucking
Akadama
drive,
Drive.
dude.
What do you think?
This
of
is my favorite. This is my favorite show.
I'm actually gonna walk away for a minute because all I remember is cigarettes. So
I
my
don't know
opinion here, I'm
why,
gonna
because
say
that's
something-
dumb. I watched the episode minutes before we recorded, and there was one guy.
That's all I remember, so I am gonna walk away now for just a minute, so I don't like ruin your guys' interpretation of it.
Okay.
So this is a show that like whenever we did the seasonal episode, I was the most pissed off that I was the only one who watched it. Not because I thought Moth would like it, because you never know with Moth. It's because I knew Frog would like it, and like Frog has been having good things happen in his life, so I'm not gonna shit on him for not watching fucking anime. But this show is so visually interesting. Okay, first off, it's by a new anime studio, and the lead writer is the guy that did Danganronpa. And not just like, oh, it's the same writer. This is the most Danganronpa-ass anime other than the actual Danganronpa animes. Like, even down to the way it does scene transitions is exactly the same way room transitions happen in the first Danganronpa game. And probably the other ones, but I've only played the first one so far. This show is phenomenal. And it
that's
has...
probably why I won't like it, because I hate Danganronpa.
I don't know anything about Danganronpa, but the first episode of this was really rad. And I apologize for not having watched it, but now that I've seen the first episode, I will probably be watching at least a little bit more of it, and probably the rest of it.
No. This is actually the best way to tell if somebody, if like, So Danganronpa fans tend to like Persona Persona 5 more than Persona 4, and that right there is your dead giveaway that they don't know a damn thing.
I haven't seen a lot of overlap between those two fandoms, but I also don't really go into that verse very much, so I'm not going to say that's conclusive evidence.
There's not a lot of overlap. Like, that's just a weird thing that he decided to say just now.
That's absolutely not. Danganronpa fans also tend to be Persona 5 fans.
I mean,
again,
there's probably definitely some overlap there. I guarantee you, for sure. I've never heard anyone express that.
If I go find any, and it's also probably because they fall into the category of being like Sony PlayStation fans, which are the type of people that you shouldn't allow near daycare.
Huh? Wait, now this is just off a completely different railroad. What's going on now?
No, just saying, like, Sony fans are the only types of people who are going to like Danganronpa. Danganronpa being boring-ass visual novels, but, like, I've known Sony fans my whole life, and those people creep me the hell out.
Any diehard fan of any console is just gonna creep me out, including PC. That's not.
I don't know,
that's
man.
not
Switch
different.
is pretty good.
Anyway, Akudama Drive.
Very cool.
This show has a fucking banger-ass soundtrack. It has like really striking, interesting visual design.
It reminds me of Kaguya-Sensen's soundtrack a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, I can see that. I wish it had the same level of animation quality. Like, not that I think the show looks
It definitely has a lot of
bad.
post-processing covering up some stuff, but it's good post-processing, so...
Yes, it's not like fucking that one anime about the machine doll girl. It's not like that where like post-processing's all over the place to the point where it's distracting. Like, the post-processing like adds to the flavor.
Violet Evergarden.
I honest to God thought Violet Evergarden was a Fate spinoff when I
honestly don't blame you.
It would be kind of funny if it was. Anyway, it has really there's a common like belief amongst artists that like if your character has like a very recognizable silhouette, then you have a really well designed character. And all of the characters in the show, if you literally in the opening, you just see their silhouettes in some shots because they have such recognizable silhouettes, and all the characters are fantastic, are multi-layered and interesting, and where the story goes is not where you think it is. By the end of the first episode, you're like, oh, this is a death game. It's gonna be like a battle royale where they have to fight each other to get more money. And the show just doesn't go in that direction at all. Like, at all. Like, it's so fucking great. And then it ends. This show ends on it's the most 2020 anime that can exist in the year 2020. Because it ends on an anti-police violence note. That's there's no way this was on purpose. It just happens to go there. Cause and when it gets there, you're like, wow, this is fucking sick. Cause it's literally, I can't even say it. It's so amazing. And the reason I'm not saying it, I know we said spoilers are okay. I'm not saying it because Frog's gonna watch it. But when it gets there, it fucking hits you, dude. And it's like, wow, it is an interesting story about how a police, police states, require, citizens to criminalize themselves in order to perpetuate its own existence. And that is so fucking interesting, dude. And it's so non-overt about it. And it's so good in that way. Cause until episode fucking 7 or 8, it's all just undertones, and it's just a really cool, stylish action drama, show. And then it gets there and you're like, dude, that's fucking sick though. I love this show so much.
I'll be watching more of it. I will have more to say at a later date, but it looks really cool. It also, yeah, I agree with everything here, basically. It's very cool.
Now, do we actually have anything to say about Talentless Nana?
Yes,
I've never seen
it's
that
in
one.
my top. It's in my top 3.
What is that one again? Can you remind me?
Talentless Nana is a show. The very first episode, it structures itself around the idea that there are these people who are on a island and they are all superpowered.
This is the one where she's killing people because she's trying to prevent the bad thing from happening.
Yes, that is the show. The show's really good, in a way similar to like Assassination Classroom is really good. I wouldn't say that they're all that comparable. There's something about it that gives me a very similar vibe. And just like that, I think it's really good. I have this in my top 3 because I didn't want any overlap. I don't think I think this show is fantastic. I think you should go into it knowing as little as possible. In fact, even knowing that there's a female character that is the main character who kills is a little bit more than you should know. I went in not knowing that, and I thought it was going to be a show about a generic, like male protagonist who learns how to be the leader of a bunch of superpowered kids. But at the end of the first episode, he gets pushed off the cliff by a girl.
And dies.
And she's all like, and now she's like, oh, that's one down. Now I gotta kill the other ones. And it's like, what? And the way that it goes about it is very JoJo-esque. Like, the next person she kills in the second episode is someone who has the ability to time travel back 24 hours. And so she the way that she has to get him next because she could very well figure out what she did to the guy from the previous day. And the way she does it is the most JoJo. She lures him out onto a frozen lake during the day, and it was like, okay, yesterday I was attacked by a bad guy. I need you to go back in time and protect me. Because that's what happened. And it's like, okay, sure, bet. And then he goes back in time, but it's established early in the episode, before she's even decided to kill him, that he can't swim. So he goes back in time 24 hours, falls into the lake, and drowns. And then the next day it gets frozen over because there's a character who has ice powers. And he does that during the beginning of the episode. He freezes over the lake. That's how she knows it'll be frozen over. And it's so cool. Like, the way she goes about killing these characters, and like the drama and suspense that happens because she's pursuing them. And then at one point there's someone else who's killing people. And it's like, what is happening? Like, it's really good. The show's fantastic. It's just also visually generic, unfortunately. I don't think that'll be a problem for a lot of people, but it's just kind of the case for this show.
It's kind of where I drop off a little bit.
Yeah. I'll give it a shot because it looked like ecchi crap from the cover, so I'll give it a shot.
There's no ecchi at all.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. I guess I'll introduce the next one because I doubt Frog watched it. This is weird because this is the most like, so this is the most scrambled eggs anime I've seen in a long time. Where like you go to a diner and you don't really know what you want to eat. And so they're like, well, we could give you some scrambled eggs, some bacon. And it's good, and it's nice, and at the time you enjoy it. And you can't really think of anything else you could have wanted at the time. But, like, you know there was something more you wanted, and something that you really wouldn't have wanted. And that's where A Million Lives is. It's an isekai that breaks a lot of isekai tropes. But at the end of the day, it's still an isekai. It's very middle of the road. But it's still worth watching, because there's just something about it that's like, this is worth doing.
So I'm standing on 1 Million Lives. That's the next one. This show is also in my top 3, mostly because we tried to prevent overlap. This show is really, really good. It's really well written. Like, it plays off of isekai tropes and subverts expectations in interesting ways. And
it does, but no, I agree, Mike. I do think there's good in this anime. I genuinely do. I especially like the fact that the main character sucks ass. Like, absolutely miserable at everything he does, actually has to learn to be good at what he does. I think it's his supporting cast that drags him down. Specifically the swordsman girl.
I think the swordsman girl? Are you talking about the
girl with asthma?
Oh. I mean, yeah, but like, her whole thing is that like she spent like all of her life being weak, and then like being part of this isekai event, like basically like the way it works is that when you get chosen, you roll for a job class. And
she got the worst class for her.
Yes, but the job class you roll affects like your physical constitution in the real world.
Yes,
so like,
it does.
She was really weak and sickly, and she rolled a tough warrior, and suddenly she's not as weak and sickly anymore, which it allows her to like like flesh herself out and do things that she's never been able to do before, including having friends.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, I don't dislike this anime. It's just there's something about it where I feel like if there was another isekai that came out this season, I probably would have watched that instead. And I can't even quite pinpoint it. Like something don't sit right with this anime.
I love this show. Like, unironically, at the end of the last episode, they announced as part of the show that they are getting a second season this year, and I'm super stoked. Because the last episode ends with, like, the reveal of who... Not only does it end with... It reveals who the Game Master is, why they talk the way they do, and it's kind of funny, and also, like, the next party member... And it's this kid who was, like, roped into committing a crime.
Committing, like, war crimes and atrocities?
No. Like petty crime.
Yeah.
The way that, like, because when they recruit a character, someone has to go on a quest where they, like, have to involve themselves in their life. And the way that the Game Master chooses to allow it to happen is that, like, he has to stop the kid from killing someone, and in so doing allows him to have one of the fantasy world items to defend himself.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
It's so interesting because, like, that, like, the fantasy world items that they get, like, as part of their job classes carry over into the real world, which is really cool. Like, it's doing interesting things. It will go interesting places, but also kind of like Talentless Nana, it looks a little too generic.
Pretty cool. What's the next show?
Yeah, no, the next one, oh boy, drum roll on this next one. A Golden Kamui.
I'm surprised this even has more than one season.
Season 3.
Who even watches this show?
Shut
No,
the
it's a
fuck
legitimate
up,
question.
Frank.
No, hang on.
Shut your whore ass mouth right now.
Who watches the show? I haven't seen anyone talk about it other than you.
Moth is super excited to talk about this, but also he didn't put it in his top 3.
I don't know how I was watching it like when you asked me to do the top 3 and I didn't even put it in.
Wait.
I think it was just such a given that I didn't even put it on the list.
I mean, there it is.
It's Golden Kamui Season 3. Season 3 is weird because it's the season... There are some seasons where you can pinpoint where it got really good and where... Like any anime. Like, this is the good part of the season, this is the bad part. Season 1, the first 3 episodes don't let you see what Golden Kamui is at all. Like, it absolutely bars you from seeing a phenomenal anime. Season 2 just ramped up from the beginning. It was, once again, actually, Season 1 and Season 2, it's like the first few episodes were okay, and then you really got into the meat and the potatoes of it. Season 3... really strong first 4 episodes. Phenomenal. And then you just are kind of lulled. And then episodes 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, or actually 10, 11, 12, 13, just boom, knock it out of the park. Just, actually I think it's only 12 episodes. But boom, knock it right out of the park. Here's the thing. I have heard people call Golden Kamui, and I'm not kidding this time, the Quentin Tarantino of anime, because it is 100% character drama.
This is like the 3rd time this episode you've compared something to Quentin Tarantino.
I'm being sincere on this one. You have these characters that are just such minor characters. Like, you got guys that are traveling with Sugimoto, and you're like, oh, you know, he's just the background character. We could kill him eventually. And then they give his background an entire episode as to why he became the person he became. And suddenly it's just... You're like, oh, wow, this guy's emotionally dead and stays away from women for this reason. Oh, Lieutenant Surima's insane because he was trained by the Japanese spy program. Like, you learn about all these characters in deeper and deeper ways. I mean, the homoerotic undertones are there. The comedy's there. The insane fight scenes are there. There's the entire last episode takes place on an ice rift between Japan and Russia. It freezes over at a very specific part during the year that you can cross by foot. And the entire last episode takes place with them fighting in the middle of this breakup that's happening as it's getting kind of warmer. And then out of nowhere, the main character has to get peed on by another character to get somebody's eye off of the button on his uniform. It's just like... 100% never stops. You have no idea where it's going. Golden Kamuy is phenomenal.
Cool.
I like the guy that fucks bears.
Yeah, that's not in the anime. They could not figure out how to put that entire arc in.
There's an arc around it.
Bad anime. Awful. God, they don't even have the
Literally
bear fucker.
unwatchable. No, but in
Unwatchable,
the OVAs, they did 3 OVAs, and in one of the OVAs, the gay guy anally violates a bear with a katana.
So tell me about Moyo Jo de Oyasumi, also known as Sleepy Princess and Demon Castle.
Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle is like Kaguya-sama if it was good. It's a very lighthearted comedy.
This is the worst opinion ever. Okay, here's the deal. I watched one episode of this because I didn't want to go in without having watched it.
And the OP is banger. Isn't that OP
I've
banger?
not watched it.
The ED is banger. I don't even remember the OP. The ED was good. The ED is by Urasama, one of my favorite Japanese artists. So yeah, I love it. I even posted about it on Twitter. This show is just every single bit is the same bit because the entire story is just.
You would think that, but they actually start flipping things around a lot.
So the princess gets kidnapped by the Demon King, and like Demon King kidnapped princess, but all she wants to do is get a good night's rest. So every bit is her being upset with something about how she's sleeping, and then terrorizing the demon castle until she gets what she wants, and then she goes to sleep. And then the Demon King goes in there's like, I'm gonna have a word with you, and then he sees her sleeping and she's too cute, so he goes, I'll talk to her tomorrow. And they do that 4 times in the first episode.
Yeah, and it starts to organically evolve after that. Because the first, I will say this, and I'm going to end up having to eat crow for saying this, but basing an entire anime off the first episode is generally a bad idea because the first episode is generally the least like the rest of the show.
Depends on the show.
I agree. The first episode is usually the best episode for like your first impression, which is why I know that I can look at one episode and be like, yeah, this isn't for me. Now there are totally examples of shows, because I've said it a bunch of times. I didn't like the first episode of Punchline. Punchline is one of my favorite animes of all time. So there are shows that subvert that, but 99% of all shows, you watch one episode, you've seen the best it has to offer, you know if you can drop it.
That's not true. I mean, if you were to say that about Decadence, you'd be totally wrong.
Decadence first episode's so good, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Decadence's first episode is good on its own, and then you go into the second episode, and a whole new world opens up. So, like, yeah.
But here's the thing, like, if you do that with Aizokin, if you do that with...
Aizokin's first episode is incredible!
Aizokin's first episode is amazing.
Aizokin doesn't pick up until they do the first animation.
No!
That is just not true. The first episode's banger-ranger,
First episode's one of the best episodes. And there's a lot of good episodes.
The first episode was so good, it inspired both Frog and I to create
Make a video.
things.
I did create things. I also created more things as a result of that creating thing. Ring of Quest Online's coming back soon, by the way, guys. I don't know if I should spoil that. Maybe cut that out, actually. No, that's fine.
Sleepy Princess is a comfortable slice-of-life comedy that takes place in a fantasy realm.
Isn't that exactly everything you hate?
It feels a lot like Dragon Quest. Yeah, actually, here's the thing. I actually was sitting there watching. I'm like, I should hate this anime. The main character's a little girl. Like, it's just moey and garbage. But it seemed like it was actually written for women and not for men.
I hate whenever you say
that's
this
why I was able to keep tolerating it.
Moth's still the only person still in 2020 saying moe as a negative.
I just hate it whenever you say, like, this is obviously written by so-and-so, like, whoever. Like, I don't care! No one cares! Everyone who writes it.
Here's the deal. Like,
whatever.
Sleepy Princess is a fine show. If you like slice of life, it is a good fantasy slice of life. It's just also a slice of life. And it's very much a slice of life super hard. Like, I like comedy fantasy slice of lives. I think I can't wait for the second season of Maid Dragon. I love that show. But like there's more to Maid Dragon than just the same gag. And I know you said it's different after the first episode.
I mean,
Sure,
Grand Blue
man.
wasn't different after
I
the
mean,
first
at the
episode.
end of the day, she's trying to fall asleep, but they really build off of it. There's actually like a 30-minute clip where she 30-second clip, where she completely subverts the entire guards because she's trying to get a heated pillow that's being sold in the human world. And she subverts all the guards, she gets out of the castle, and then they lay a trap for her that's literally just a super comfortable bed inside a cage, and she falls right into it. Like, they build off of the characters. They take these things that should be one-dimensional and just bada bing, bada boom.
I just want to point out the thing you just said, it was subversive, is part of what I just said the show's about. A princess just trying to do things to get sleep better.
And they managed to reinvent
Quick
it every
shout out
episode.
to people who still try and watch Black Clover in 2020.
Is that
Who
still
still,
going?
yeah, people still love to argue about how it's really good, guys. Anyway,
What?
So we have two more things on the list before
I
we
don't
go
even
into
have
the
the
best
energy
stuff.
for this. Tenchi Muyo Ryuoki Season 5 continues the most convoluted shit I've ever tried to watch in my life. Here's the thing, just quick history lesson. Tenchi Muyo happened, it was an OVA series, it got like, I think it only got like 6 episodes. And then it did so well that it got more episodes, and then they ended up doing a spin-off called Tenchi Universe, which is a complete retelling of the story with different variables. While that was going on, they decided to retell the main line with the Tenchi Ryuoki series, but didn't say, hey, this is Tenchi Muyo. There's like, no, this is Tenchi Ryuoki. Then they did Tenchi in Tokyo, and then they went ahead and they did Tenchi GXP, and then they did this random thing for the Tokyo Olympics promo that never actually happened, or it was like the Tokyo Winter Games, where they had Tenchi Muyo just in an alternate timeline, and it was supposed to highlight the best parts of Japan. It never even fucking succeeded because it was just a high school ecchi. And then they went ahead and they're like, okay, by the way, Tenchi Muyo Ryuoki, a continuation of Tenchi Muyo from 1995. We're going to do season 5. It's going to be 4 episodes long, and we're going to keep going. I can't keep up with it, and Tenchi Muyo is one of my favorite animes. Just know that if you enjoyed the mainline series, there's 4 more episodes for you to enjoy. That's it. That's all I'm going to say.
I just want to point out 2 things. Thing number 1, you also forgot to mention the alternate reality mecha series that involves Tenchi's brother.
Not even Tenchi, where
no.
he's a pilot for the military police.
Oh no, that's Tenchi Muyo GXP. I'm talking about a different show, an actual mecha anime that takes place in a fantasy alternate world where Tenchi's brother gets pulled into it. I think it's called either Record of Ginmar or War on Ginmar.
Zinv?
I've been planning to watch that for a while because I love Tenchi Muyo, but I also hate
Geminar.
it.
Tenchi
Yeah.
Muyo Geminar.
Yeah.
The war on Geminar. Here's the thing. That was actually what I was thinking of when I said GXP. It is the most hot-ass garbage on the planet that has absolutely nothing to do with Tenchi Muyo. They had a shitty anime and they slapped Tenchi on it to sell.
No, fuck you. Tenchi Muyo GXP is the worst thing. I stopped watching. So I tried to watch the 5th season of Ryuoki, because I said I would. The first episode is so fucking boring, and I kept fucking watching, and they're referencing a bunch of stuff that I don't know about. And granted, this is the 5th season, and I know I haven't seen all of Ryuoki, so that kind of makes sense. But they're just talking about it. They aren't even saying anything interesting. Like, the main bad guy of the last season is just a house guest now, and it's just a tiny, cute girl. And okay, whatever. But the exact moment I stopped watching is because Tenchi Muyo GXP follows Tenchi's cousin, who looks just like Tenchi, who gets abducted and goes to space and becomes a space cop. I stopped watching the moment Tenchi went to his aunt's house and was like, hey, I haven't seen my cousin in a while. How's he doing since he went off in space? And I clicked off because I was like, fuck you for acknowledging that Tenchi Muyo GXP happened. Fuck you. Like, you didn't have to do that. Most of Tenchi Muyo isn't in canon with itself. Please, don't reference the thing I desperately trying to forget. There's a character in Tenchi Muyo GXP that is a furry that wants to fuck him, and then it's revealed she's not a furry. She's a weird, sexy space pirate. I hate Tenchi Muyo GXP. Fuck Tenchi Muyo GXP.
I pretty much hate anything that's not mainline Tenchi Muyo in universe.
And then finally on our list, we have Made in Abyss. Dawn of the Deep Soul, which we did an episode on. That's just a fine little thing.
Just watch it.
It's pretty good.
I don't like it, but you do you.
I liked
it too.
I think it was.
I think
really
it was
good.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Eat
I
a
don't,
dick, Mike.
I don't think it's gonna break any boundaries. I think it's more Made in Abyss. It's a long episode of the anime. If you like Made in Abyss, you'll like this.
Super great. I think it's super great when they defeat the main bad guy, who's a total war criminal, and then they happily wave him off as they.
I never
leave.
said didn't have problems.
Fuck,
Right?
fuck that show so much. But without further ado, we now are in the final part of the episode. And
Bro, let's just give it to Jujutsu Kaisen and whatever the fuck.
But
you
I
wanna
don't
give it to.
agree,
Let's
though.
wrap it up. Jujutsu Kaisen was
We now-
honestly.
I want to start by saying we have an honorable mention.
Oh yeah.
The honorable mention to make it onto our list is the first half of God of High School. Everyone, give it a round of applause. Clap it up. So now I'm going to go through the list. We all have picked 3 anime, and we're going to decide the order of the best anime of the year 2020. So our anime, we first have Frogs, Aizuken, Kaguya-sama Season 2, Deca-dence. Then we have Moths, Jujutsu Kaisen, Sleepy Princess, and then the 5th season of Tenchi Muyo.
No. I'm gonna change that right now. My top 3 is Dorohedoro, Irumakun, and Golden Kamui. Actually, no. Dorohedoro, Jujutsu Kaisen,
Such
Golden
late
Kamui.
ads.
Boom.
All right.
Those 3. Boom. Done.
Let me just notepad this.
Say it again, please.
Dorohedoro, Jujutsu Kaisen, Golden
Cool.
Kamui.
Easy. Doro Juju Gold. Got it. Cool.
And then we have mine, which are Akudama Drive, Talentless Nana, Standing on 1 Million Lives. So I'm just gonna go off. We're each gonna pick things that we want to put and eliminate from the list. I'm just gonna start by saying Talentless Nana. That's okay. That can go. That can be the very.
Honestly,
that
I
can be
would've
number
put-
6. That number 9.
No, I would put that either give Million Lives or Talentless number 9.
Yeah.
You put Nana.
Both of them are fine.
Okay, so Million Lives is number 9.
Cool.
That's fine.
I do want Jujutsu to be high. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really one of the best shows.
No. Jujutsu is definitely first, second place material.
So it's up there.
So I've made a decision. I guess Moth, do you want to go ahead and go standing for number 8?
Honestly, well, yeah, like Standing on a Million Lives. So did you say Nana is number 9?
Yeah.
Okay, Million Lives can be number 8 then. It just it didn't do a whole lot. It's good, but it doesn't do a whole lot.
Okay, Frog. What's your pick for number 7?
I'm willing to put down Kaguya-sama down here. It's very good.
Really?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I like it. A lot of this hinges on the fact I haven't actually finished Decadence quite yet, and I'm really close, guys. I'm sorry, and it is amazing.
I personally wouldn't. I would put it above Dorohedoro.
No, Dorohedoro is my number 1 on the list for this
I thought
season.
it was Golden Kamui.
No, Golden Kamui I was willing to offer at number
okay.
6 because it's not as good as the second season, but it's still
Okay,
Golden Kamui.
that's fair actually.
Well, I would say Kaguya is better than Golden Kamui.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, I haven't watched Golden Kamui. I can't say, but I mean, the other options I have are my favorite show of all time and Decadence. I could put Decadence down here, and that wouldn't be a bad decision.
I'll pat it because we eliminated 2 of Mike's favorites right away. So Golden Kamui number 7, at friggin' Kaguya-sama
Yeah, okay,
number 6.
sure, yeah. I think I'll put Decadence instead of Kaguya-sama just because I actually like it a little more. But Decadence is very, very good. I mean, I picked it as my 3rd favorite for a reason.
Now, I'm really not willing to budge on Dorohedoro. We can figure out where in the top 3 that goes, but I'm willing to negotiate Jujutsu Kaisen at number
Honestly,
4.
I mean, I would personally put that at my personal 2 or 3, but that's a personal thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Jujutsu Kaisen, like, you and I are voting for Jujutsu
Yes.
Kaisen, which puts it in the top 3, and I have to fight tooth and nail for Dorohedoro.
I would say honestly, Dorohedoro is not as good as Jujutsu Kaisen.
Give me Dorohedoro at 4 then. Let me put Dorohedoro at 4.
Wait, where are we at now?
So
that means 5 needs to be Decadence.
Sure.
That
Five
means
needs to
we
be
have
Kaguya. Needs to be-
Aizuken. We have Aizuken. We have Jujutsu. We have Decadence. Wait, do we still have Decadence?
No, Decadence.
No, Decadence is number 5.
Decadence
Or,
is,
no,
is
Decadence
my,
is 6.
My before one. I'm putting Kaguya-sama right in fifth place, I think.
Yeah, Kaguya's
Alright.
5, Decadence is 6.
So top three right now. We have Isaac-in, Jujutsu Kaisen, Akudama
This feels right,
Drive.
actually. This is a good selection for top 3.
Yeah, so Akudama, can we just agree Akudama Drive is 3?
I'm okay.
I don't want to make a
am-
verdict yet. I doubt I'd like it more than the other two,
'Cause,
to be honest, but it is very good. I would personally put it at number 3, though. But
I
See, the
like
thing
it.
is-
Here's the deal. I like it more than Jujutsu Kaisen because I think narratively it does things that are more interesting. But I do think Jujutsu Kaisen is a better anime. So I am willing because I don't have anyone here to defend it with me. I'm
That's
willing
why
to
I
give
let
it
Golden
number
Kamui
3.
die, because no one's there to defend Golden Kamui.
you got a
with
4,
me.
didn't you? That's
It's 5. It's like
No,
7
wait.
actually, because
Oh,
I
yeah, you're
gave
right.
Dorohedoro
I mean,
a 4.
Hey, in an entire year of anime, that's not a bad placement.
No.
I won last year, and as much as I
There's
Aizoken's
no
winners
winners.
be
I won
Aizoken
last year,
or
and as much as
Jujutsu
I would
Kaisen,
love
it's
to
just
win
pick.
again, I don't want to be a beanie. I'm willing to put Isaac in second,
No,
even
no.
though I don't believe it at all.
I think Isaac-in gets
I think so too,
Yeah,
but
I will say Aizoken during the Tank Girl animation is one of the few times where I've like honestly felt something watching an anime. So
Me too.
I'll give that.
Like I love Jujutsu Kaisen.
I love it a
Like,
lot.
I love it. It didn't inspire
That's
me.
true. I was like, few things. It's my favorite show for a reason. Like, few things have made me see something, and immediately upon like even the first episode. Actually, it wasn't even the whole show. The first episode, me and Mike felt something and were compelled to create things, and that's something I haven't felt in a long time from being inspired by something. And that's obviously like a big part of why I love it so much. But also as just a show itself, beyond my my obvious bias towards it, I think is just in most parts with a couple tiny flaws, and maybe one slightly larger flaw towards the end, is one of just the best made shows I've seen in a long time. Maybe not as amazingly produced as something like Jujutsu Kaisen. I think has a little more higher like consistency,
Yeah, so
but it's definitely like.
no, Aizoken is number 1 of this year. Jujutsu Kaisen is perfect in
really-
every way, but it doesn't pop out like
I think I agree.
Aizoken
Actually,
does.
like I think Jujutsu Kaisen is as perfect as an adaptation as one could ask for. To be honest,
Well, no, it's really the perfect shonen. But it's Aizoken did something that any other year Jujutsu Kaisen would have been the new Full Metal and
I'm
would
with
have been
you.
number 1 of the year. But Aizoken
I am
really
with
did
you.
nail it.
Aizoken just happened to be a masterpiece in a year of also other really good shows. And I don't use the term masterpiece lightly. I think it's actually my favorite thing, and that's my thing. And if I get a win 2 years in a row, I'm not gonna complain, but I will feel a little weird.
No, but next year when I give it to One Piece, we'll have another conversation.
Can One Piece even apply? Isn't that like from 1990 or something?
1999.
Yeah, is that even work to call it anime of the year? I guess you can call it the current season.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks.
Well,
let's roll down the list.
We've done the list. So number 1 we have Isaac-in. Number 2 we got Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 3 we have Akudama Drive. Number 4 was Dorohedoro.
I'll accept
right?
that. It's not a bad show, and it's got
honestly,
an amazing story.
I do have a hard time doing that because Dorohedoro is one of my top 3 animes now.
Here's the thing. I think if it had like a better adaptation, I think I'm not criticizing Dorohedoro as a story. I think it's probably insanely great. I just think the adaptation could have been a lot better. Is my only thing. Like, that's all. I mean, I think for sure. I think if the show had like if Doro got Juju stuff going on, then I think it'd probably be up there, if not number 1 of the year.
I think here's the deal. As Dorohedoro exists, the way I look at it, because I don't think it's. I know you said that there's talks that it's getting another season. I don't see it getting another season.
I mean, if to be fair, if if the King and Astra anime can get another season.
and as a vehicle for the manga, I don't think it's very representative of what Dorohedoro is.
What about as a standalone product?
As a standalone product, I think it is fine.
There you go.
In fact, fine to
Because
good.
that's what
even.
I only
think
say that
there
because
are,
most people experience anime as a standalone product before reading.
like the Night of the like the I forget what the arc's called, but the Night of the Zombies is, I think it's even the second episode, is very well done. I really liked it, and I think like there are moments in this where you get to see what Dorohedoro shines at. But, like, the best parts of Dorohedoro are after this anime ends. And on top of that, the anime itself just isn't as good as of an adaptation as it could be.
Could you finish the list and we'll wrap it up, I guess.
Yep, so after that, we have number 5, which was Kaguya-sama,
I think so,
I
yeah.
believe.
Which I think is a good placement.
Then we have number 7, Golden Kamui.
6 is Golden Kamui then, or is 6
Five-
Decadence?
6 is Decadence. 6 is Decadence. 7 is Golden Kamui. 8 is Standing on 1 Million Lives, and number 9 is Talentless Nana.
There you have it,
Those are
folks.
the 9 best anime of 2020.
I think
did
there's
it,
actually
fellas.
a pretty
We
solid
did
selection
it.
there. I don't think there was actually any very weak picks, which is actually pretty cool.
I mean, Talentless Nana, just because I don't know anything
I mean,
about it,
yeah, I
but
guess I
that's
didn't
not
really know with that one,
anybody's
but I mean, if what Mike says is true, then I usually Mike's got pretty good head on his
This was
shoulders.
a very good year for anime,
Yes.
and I personally, and those are on my list, I put those.
Yes, because
at the
here's the thing, Mike was probably going to put Eizouken for sure on his list if I hadn't picked it already, and Jujutsu Kaisen for that matter.
Yeah, no, my list would have been Eizouken, Akudama Drive.
We shared a
Fuji.
lot of picks this year, so it's actually I think no matter what result would have happened, it would have been a pretty good result for anyone. And
So there you have it, folks. Anything
I think
else,
we're all
guys?
set to go. Thank you for listening in 2020. Hopefully next year's a little bit better. We're in 2021 now. We're recording this on the 5th of January.
You know, you're listening to this. It's a brand new year. On YouTube, we the past year, thanks to a shitty meme that I made, we kind of blew up a little bit.
We did get more viewers.
On
though.
top of that, our most of our episodes now are doing 50 to almost 100
which is a
views.
big improvement from like 20 to
That's
50.
just on YouTube, by the way.
That's just YouTube, yeah.
And audio listeners have been supporting us too. We get regularly, every single time an episode drops, 20 downloads. And we usually get upwards to 100 downloads in total a month. And last month we got 200 downloads.
Yeah, thank you for the support. I don't think we have like enough of an audience to start asking for like Patreon money or anything, but we appreciate you coming. We just like making it.
I have no desire. If we ever make money on this podcast, I'm just giving it to you guys.
I mean, I think we're probably just gonna put it towards the rest of the show, like equipment or whatever. I mean, actually, it depends, I guess, on the situation. But
We'll cross that bridge once we reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, or until I need the financial help. We are not going to start any kind of Patreon. But if you'd like to support us, you should let us know. If you want us to start it now and you want to throw a few bucks our way, let us know in the comments, wherever you can talk to us.
No.
well, it'll go towards like the monthly payment for like the host we use for the most part.
Oh, that's the $15 a month.
It's not that
we
much,
have to
but it'll
spend.
definitely help
It's-
us not have to pay it anymore.
I mean, I'm the
Exactly.
one
Like
who's
Mike's been
paying it, and
pretty
I
much
don't-
getting almost all of those payments. I think Moth might have helped in a couple times, but like I haven't helped at all because I'm dumb. But yeah, help lighten the
But
load.
it's something I don't complain about because I
This is your baby.
love this
I love it
podcast.
too. I really do.
I do.
We had a little bit of a break
it's
though because
been
we
a-
had some trouble scheduling, but we're back. We're gonna do it some more.
Yeah, you'll notice that we didn't have any guests on like I planned to. It just ended up not.
We're gonna have more
working
guests this next year though. I'm sure we could have a lot more friends now than we had like a couple years ago.
out. True. But yeah, you can check the description for all of our socials. Join us on Discord. Send us an email if you want to, or just comment somewhere. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
I'm English Mike. Frog is Frog.
And I'm Moth. And I'll see you next time in 2021.
We're in 2021.
Have a good night.
Wow, New Year. Hopefully it's not as terrible.
そんな優しくしないでどんな